Here's Nux and Orm.
It is absolutely unreal to see this happening again. They just assaulted that random dude, and they keep doing it for some suspicious reason. This keeps happening. He opens the door, he comes in with a big boulder, and they rob the place. This is what's happening in LA right now. It is absolutely insanity. It is an open rebellion. Send in the fucking Coast Guard. Send in the National Guard. And you look at the corporate...
No, that is an extreme response. Okay, yeah, a few anecdotal cases of people, like, you know, robbing businesses is not a reason to send in the National fucking Guard. Okay, or the Marines. I understand about the Sun. I guess talking about it through chatting makes it sound kind of like I'm uninformed. Hasan isn't black, but he's not really white either. Just interesting to see the different skin tones and races. I think it depends on who you ask. First of all, Hasan is not white because of his name. Okay, like, he's just... Like, yeah, his skin is kind of white. Maybe he's, like, kind of tan as well, but of course he is. He lives in LA. He has been more, like, pale in the past, I feel like. But anyway, he's, like, you ask me these questions, and, like, it's difficult for me to answer them because, like, I don't really know what whiteness is either. Well, I do know what whiteness is, but, like, the point is that whiteness is nothing. It's made up. It's, like, basically nothing. It's ever-changing. It's difficult to say who's white and who's not because of that. That's why I said yesterday, the only people with the ultimate authority on who's white and who's not are racist. Okay, if you want to know who's white and who isn't, then ask a Nazi, okay? Ask them. And I'll guarantee you, if you ask a Nazi, is Hasan Piker white? They're gonna be like, fuck no. He's a sand N-word, you know? Oh, I know he's not white due to his name. I get he's Turkish, and yeah, it's made up. But the fact is, blonde hair, blue eyes, or just even the hair texture and features are considered a standard beauty. Yeah, like whiteness is the default beauty standard. I agree with that. It is attractive to be a white person. It just like is in our society, and it's not like that everywhere. But I feel like it has become more universal. Like white people being more attractive. It's become like a global phenomenon. I think it used to, like even just a few years ago, it was really just a thing here in America. But it's almost like America is bleeding into every other country. Our disease is infecting every other country that we have our grubby little tendrils in. Anyway, we're watching Nux and Orm.
Horrifying. Look at this. Fiery, but mostly peaceful protests after police shooting. Bro, what the fuck is happening? What is happening? What is happening? And I'll just be real. Because Black Lives Matter got away with it a couple years ago, they're like, oh shit, we can do this too. No. This is a different Trump. You guys are hopefully gonna get the fuck out of the country right now. If you are attacking people, lighting shit on fire, vandalizing shit, you should be going to jail. This is an insurrection that is 1,000 times bigger than the insurrection that went on January 6th when people walked into the Capitol building and broke a window. So I just have to be real. We are living in the era of FAFO. These people are fucking around and they will be finding out. Look at the insanity. Look at the absolute chaos. Like, this should not be happening in the middle of LA. Like, this is not peaceful. This is not just using your voice, all right? This is...
What are they doing? What are the protesters doing? In this clip, like, you're showing this clip and you're being like, look at how violent it is. Like, who's doing the violence here? Do you know what that white shit is? That's fucking tear gas that the police threw.
This is terrorizing an entire neighborhood.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. First of all, they're not in a fucking neighborhood, you dumb fuck. They are clearly in like a business sector. Like, does this look like a fucking neighborhood to you?
The reason why I wanted to show you actual footage and photos of this, even though I covered
also, they aren't harming hardly any businesses, okay? I know he showed the one clip of a fucking robbery that happened. An unarmed robbery, by the way. Unless you consider the rock unless the rock equals gun. Which, I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe that is a deadly weapon. Anyway, it's just not happening. It's just, like, they want it to be happening so bad. They want the protesters to be so violent, and they're just not. Like, setting a few cars on fire is dangerous. It's stupid. It's wrong. But it's not even like the Rodney King riots, okay? It's not even close. It's not even fucking close. The Rodney King riots targeted businesses. They burned down businesses. Okay, there aren't any fucking businesses getting burned down right now. It's just a few self-driving cars and some police cruisers. We have tons of mass shootings, innocent kids who were robbed of a future, and yet politicians are like, my prayers are with the family. And we move on. Yet anytime there's a protest, we are considered savages or thugs. Yes, of course, even in a peaceful protest. And I'm not saying that these protests are peaceful. I don't think they are, okay? Not completely. They're not fully, I mean, no protest is, like, fully peaceful. But, like, these are not riots, okay? These are not, like, what's happening isn't, they're not rioting there like they did in 1992. Okay, these are mostly peaceful protests with a little bit of car fires. Okay, whatever. Yeah, it's dangerous. You shouldn't do it. I don't condone it. I don't condone that kind of violence, but still.
Actual coverage on it. I just made a video about how illegal protesters 100% find out because Trump activated the National Guard. They're sending people in to actually end the military.
Yeah, which is insanity. Which is literally, that is an unproportional escalation of violence. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? They did not even send in the Marines for the Rodney King shit. I don't think. I could be wrong. I don't know. Let's look it up, actually, because I've been saying this. I've said this multiple times. Did the Marines go in during Rodney King riots? Yes, the Marines were deployed. Okay, alright, my bad. And during the 92 Los Angeles riots, following the acquittal of 4 LAPD officers, blah, 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 blah. The Marines were issued riot gear. They received refresher training prior to their mission. Interesting. The deployment of these Marines was seen as necessary to restore order, as the National Guard and local law enforcement were struggling to manage widespread unrest. Despite the media attention on the Marines, California National Guard played a significant role in calming the situation before the Marines arrived. Hey, look, Ja3starr is gonna be wrong sometimes, okay? It happens. Still though, you could justify the Marines in the Rodney King riots. I don't think you can do that here. I just don't. I'm not trying to sound like a broken record. I'm really not. And I hate everyone equally. But a large portion of Hispanics voted for Trump. So how can I have empathy? Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. I think that, look, man, I understand where you're coming from. I really do. But, like, it's just like, yeah, like, I know Latinos voted for Trump. Okay, I get that. I've been talking about this. I've been talking about the Cubans in Miami. Okay, they overwhelmingly vote for Republican. Okay, you have to understand where they come from, where they are coming from. They view their countries as like shitholes, as Trump would put it. Okay, they come from shithole countries, which are also socialist countries. They're socialists. So, like, all these motherfuckers are fleeing their socialist shithole countries, and they come here and they're like, you know, this is like way better. This is awesome. I love capitalism. And who's the capitalist party? Okay, it's Republicans. That's why this happens. Okay, also, over the course of about 3 generations, immigrant families slowly but surely turn Republican. Okay, they do. Because they come here, and they may start off Democrat, but the fact of the matter is that they're poor. And so their children will go to poor schools and get and have terrible educational outcomes. and then they will grow up to become Republicans as a direct consequence of that. Okay, but we can't ignore the fact that Kamala is a person of color and a woman. People would rather ignore Trump's bigoted past because he's a white man. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. I don't think it's just because she's a brown woman. I think that she had a terrible campaign, like probably the worst campaign that I've ever seen. Definitely the worst campaign I've ever seen. Maybe the worst one of the last, 20 years. Like, I didn't think it could get worse than the Hillary campaign for Democrats, but wow. Oh, it was terrible? Yeah. Yeah, and, she lost by fairly slim margins. I know that they, keep saying, Trump won by a landslide, but he just didn't. Okay, he won key states, which resulted in an electoral landslide. But all of those states that he won were pretty close. He won them by slim margins. So yeah, I think that if Kamala had even just had a mid-campaign, she would have won for sure. But her campaign wasn't mid, it was trash.
But the reason why I need to give you this context is because the Hasan coverage is some of the most
rest in piss
shit you would ever see in your entire life. So Hasan immediately tweets as this shit happens. He quotes "End Wokeness," a Twitter account. This is before you ask. Yes, I voted for this. Yes, ICE coming in and arresting illegal immigrants that are violent. Fuck yeah, that's exactly what everyone voted for. Everyone voted for that.
Oh yeah? Yeah, they're violent. They're arresting all the violent criminals at Home Depot. And that's real, by the way. They did a fucking ICE raid on a Home Depot, and I'm not even going to make any jokes. I'm not even going to joke about that. I'm not going to. But do you think that there were violent, illegal immigrants in the Home Depot parking lot? Yeah, I don't think so.
That no one wants illegal, violent people in the country. There are enough annoying people that are citizens. Why do I have to deal with retards that are not even citizens? Get them the fuck out. I think that this is absolutely the thing that most people think. But Hasan, terrorist supporting, America deserved 9/11 piker, felt like saying, if you said something like this in public, you'd be put down like a dog. That's why you stick to Twitter. Says the guy who supports terrorists from his fucking socialist mansion.
He's kind of Hasan, the left Trump of the left, Hasan. He's kind of wrong here. I don't really think that people would put you down over it. But yeah, it is. I don't think he's I don't really think he's wrong for saying it though, because it's disgusting to support ICE. Okay, they are the Gestapo. They are the secret police. They are the Nazi secret police. They are blackbagging people. Okay, they are kidnapping people. They are disappearing them. They are sending them to concentration camp in El Salvador. That's what's happening.
Beverly Hills. Right, you gotta recognize the fucking retardation here. This dude is fighting every day to save Palestine from a mansion in Beverly Hills with maids, all right, and his $300,000 sports car and his $5,000 Gucci belt. All right, what are we even talking about? First of all,
I don't even think he lives in Beverly Hills. I believe he lives in Bel Air. I could be wrong about that. But I don't know. He is in a rich neighborhood. Okay, whatever.
Holy hypocrisy, Batman. And second of all, and I think this is even more important to make fun of him for, Hasan just casually admitting the radical left will kill you over free speech. Remember how Hasan keeps talking about freedom of speech, freedom of speech? I can't believe they're arresting freedom of speech, which is not happening. But he makes believe it happens. You gotta realize this is just Hasan saying, if you say this in public, we will kill you. Just says the quiet part out loud. Yes, you are totally correct. The left is in fact the party of violence. Thank you, Hasan, for once again coming here to remind us that yes, you are the retards that are.
Leftists are so violent. They're doing so much violence. These protesters so violent. It's like, does anybody believe this shit? Does anybody? Yeah, they do. I know they do. So we can invade and grape people, take their land, and yet white Americans aren't considered illegals. Their mindset is, without whites, we wouldn't have this amazing civilization. I really wish I could hack him and see what he actually looks like. Oh, he's a disgusting person. I guarantee you he's like a crusty slob, okay? He's just like, he never showers, his hair is greasy. Okay, he's got he looks like a goblin, I guarantee it. I guarantee. You can even tell with the way the fucking tracking fucks up with his avatar. You can tell that he's you know, he's not very agile, I don't think.
Fucking retards. So yes, I'm glad that we've come together on this. Now, before we actually dive into the deep Hasan coverage of the current drama, I need you to see how Hasan basically admitted that everything is him trying his best
I hate this guy so fucking much, man. I need to be a VTuber. My VTube avatar would look sick as fuck.
First of all, he makes believe that he's like some victim of massive hunting. He is, but I am the hunter. This motherfucker ain't getting away with shit.
Platforming me, this guy consistently is spamming, hey man, check this video about the ethical evaluation of Luigi Mangione's case.
Right, Luigi is the guy that murdered a healthcare CEO in broad daylight.
Allegedly. Let's talk about the ethics of like assassinating.
Yeah, that was so terrible.
Like,
that was so sad.
I was going to watch.
I'm so sad by that. I'm so sad.
He was gonna watch it, and he was gonna glaze it. He was
Do not be a VTuber. I really dislike them.
Luigi Mangione. He
I
wears
don't.
A Luigi cosplay
I dislike
every
this
time
one.
That dude gets shows up in court. All right?
This guy's a
dude
fucking
is
pussy.
100%
The thing is, like, I don't think you're a pussy for being a VTuber, okay, for not showing your face. But, like, this guy is a pussy for not showing his face. I guarantee it.
A terrorist glazer. A terrorist guzzler.
I hate that Luigi was so hot. I don't hate that. I think that's awesome.
Bro will be there to glorp and schlorp.
I think it's great.
But, like, perhaps not so close to the ADL calling me out.
It's kind of epic that he's hot.
So this is him admitting that he's a gigantic pussy, and he's not.
It only is gonna make it more. It's only gonna make it more likely he gets acquitted.
Terrorists, let's remember. In fact, he wanted to start off a terrorist organization in America, IRA style.
Hot man like that should be free.
Covered in Hasan Piker is 550% fucked.
Well.
I just thought this would be important.
Hotter people than him, probably.
You are a little bit schizophrenic.
Behind bars.
And, completely and utterly delusional in terms of.
He's terrified. He's like, I will not. I will do everything in my power to resist glazing a terrorist. I will do everything I can to resist glazing this guy.
How this kind of stuff works.
How it works, meaning he does support Luigi, but you don't understand. I'm not allowed to say that out loud. I have to just subtly.
This is not fast enough. There we go.
Dog whistle and trick you into committing violence. Now, remember the guy that shot two Israeli Jewish people in D.C.? Well, that guy was a little bit brain broken, but he was genuine with his actions. That was a direct quote from Hasan Piker.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
You have a severe inability to fucking read the room.
I mean, yeah, he was genuine. Like, I don't think that is condoning the violence. I think that is just like accepting reality. Like, the guy had a motive, and that motive doesn't make it okay to kill. Like, it's tricky. Like, it's never okay to kill civilians. Okay, obviously fucking not. But the guy had a motive, and the motive is valid. Like, it doesn't mean it's valid to kill people, to kill civilians, okay? But, like, he had a motive, and that motive was, like, true, okay? His motive was that the Israeli state is an apartheid state, and the government is a genocidal regime. Both of those things are true. If you don't think they're true, which this person, Nuxanor, does not, Nuxtaku does not think that's true. If you don't think that's true, you are delusional, which he is, of course.
And then he crashes out in Turkish because he's a supporter of a Turkish.
But we already knew that.
You see, the thing about Hasan Piker is he actually does want an ethno-state in Israel. He just, instead of wanting Israel, which is a country of 73% Jews and 27% Arabs.
Yeah. So what he's gonna say now is he's gonna say that if the Palestinians were free, if like the Free Palestine side won, then they would want to genocide all the Jews. They would turn around and immediately genocide all the Jewish people. And the only people that would be allowed to live would be, like, Muslims, okay? That's what he's going to say. And it is categorically false. And people say this every time there's a genocide. People talk, they say this shit. They say that the victims of the genocide, if they were to be emancipated, they would turn around and do a genocide to their oppressors. And it's just not the case. The Jewish victims of the Shoah did not turn around and genocide German people. They just didn't. They turned around and they picked up the pieces of their lives and tried to keep going. Okay, because what else do you do in that situation?
He actually wants an ethno-state of 100% Arabs and 0 Jews. He's made that very clear.
Yeah.
But anyway, to be clear,
Yeah,
this is
that's
Hasan
what would
directly
happen.
inciting violence,
That's
in my
what they
opinion,
would want.
Against the United States senator. And the reason why I need to show you this clip now is because
So insane.
There's about $50 billion
This person is actually unhinged.
Medicaid just in fraud alone. Nope.
I know I keep saying that, but like it really,
Rick Scott, okay?
even when I feel like it shouldn't surprise me, even when it shouldn't shock me, it still kind of does a little bit. Like just hearing him talk and say this shit, it's like kind of shocking. Anyway, let's rewind it.
There's about $50 billion estimated.
The Rick Scott clip.
Medicaid just in fraud alone. Nope. If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott, okay? You wouldn't make Rick Scott, former governor of Florida, Rick Scott. You wouldn't make him.
Yeah, he's calling for the death of a senator.
So this is him telling his audience to kill a senator. That's fucking crazy. That is insane. It's wild that this alone didn't land this guy under an FBI investigation. So I wanted to show you this clip because he.
Do you think he's not being investigated by the FBI? Are you insane? Yeah, my bad. I keep saying that. Yes, he is. My bad. Oh, my bad. I forgot. Yeah, I'm sure Hasan is like being watched by the feds. Okay, I don't fucking doubt that. I think that if you don't think he is, like this person must understand that Hasan is certainly being watched by the FBI and the CIA. Of course he is. He's the most popular leftist content creator on the planet. And he's in America. Okay, yeah, they're watching him. Okay, believe me. But anyway, the reason that wasn't a call for an assassination on sitting Senator Rick Scott, the reason why that's not what that was is because he didn't say that. He didn't say, like, go kill Rick Scott, kill him. He said that if the Republicans cared about Medicare fraud, Medicaid fraud, they would kill Rick Scott. Because if they actually cared about it, then maybe they wouldn't want to kill Rick Scott, but they would certainly want to imprison him. Okay, but they don't want to do that because they don't care about Medicare fraud. They only care about cutting people off of Medicare. Of course. Of course, that's what they want.
He loves the violence. He lives in the violence. So, knowing all this, that A, he is toning down his responses because he's terrified for his life, all right? He's scared for his life. He thinks that the crosshairs are on him. The Jews are out to get him, all right? Listen, he's scared. So, A, you have to realize that he's trying his best to not say anything actually violent or insightful. B, he directly incites violence against Americans multiple times. And C, he supports terrorist groups all over the world. United States designated terrorist organizations. So, I want to show you his coverage of the LA fire.
Yeah, he supports them.
You know what? A new Hasan fucking bullshit just dropped. You know what? I'll even show this to you right now. Just to crush another Hasan lie, because this dude is an absolute fucking degenerate piece of fucking dog shit that might have had sex with children in brothels in Germany. Look at this clip, okay? Look at this clip.
There's not a single person. I mean, there's no reason to relitigate this over and over again, but there's not a single person out there that actually despises everything I stand for that has consumed my content directly.
Don't worry. Today we are going to be consuming his content directly. We are going to be watching his full fucking video on how fascism has arrived in LA. That is what he titled his bullshit, fake-ass, fear-mongering video that, in my opinion, is designed to stir the pot and get people angry at the government. In my opinion, he wants violence. So let's do it, baby. In the honor of Hasan, we will be giving him the respect he so badly wanted.
LA's about to start getting...
Oh, by the way, I'm going to cook him because watch how much false information Watch how much
I love that outfit. I love that fucking outfit, dude. That is sick as fuck. If I'm not mistaken, that's Maoist, right? That's like a Maoist uniform. I could be wrong about that. I don't know. Or is it Cuba? Is that Castro? Is that like a Castro era uniform? I don't know.
Information he pushes in this one video alone.
I'm a fake leftist. I'm a fake communist.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of people talking about this. LAPD is collapsed.
Watch how he covers the LA literally being on fire. LA is on fire. There are riots, smoke bombs, fireworks, harassing, looting, throwing rocks at cars. It is a shit show. That place devolved into chaos. Okay? Watch his coverage.
Operating with ICE. This is outside of Ambience Factory. Another clear example.
He mentioned pretty much everything that happened, by the way. Listen.
Harassing, looting, throwing rocks at cars. It is a shit show. That place devolved.
Yeah, okay, let's think about that. There was allegedly looting. There wasn't any fucking looting. Okay, hardly. There was one robbery. There's gonna be some theft in a massive gathering of people. Okay, I wouldn't call it fucking looting. But obviously, like, that's one of the racist point. You gotta hit that. You gotta hit that on the head. You gotta hit the looting button. They're looting. They're looting. They're savages. Okay. He said throwing rocks at cars. That's true. That's true. They threw rocks at... I wouldn't say cars. I would say cop cars. They threw rocks at cop cars, specifically. Okay, that's important. That's important. That may make it worse in your eyes. It may, you know, make it better if you're, like, a sane person. But they threw rocks at cars. What else do you say they do? They set cars on fire. They did do that. That was... Now that...
covers the LA literally being on fire. LA is on fire. There are riots.
LA's not on fire.
Harassing, looting, throwing rocks at cars. It is a shit show. That place...
Oh, he didn't mention cars on fire. Okay. He said the city's on fire. He said LA is on fire. Yeah, LA's not on fire. There are, like, very little fire. LA was more on fire when that fucking forest fire broke out. Near the Hollywood sign, on the hill, with the Hollywood sign on it. LA was more on fire. Like, several buildings burned down when that happened. How many buildings have burned down as a result of this protest? How many? Let's look it up. Again, so from what I'm seeing here, nothing. No buildings have been burned. Okay, now in the 1992 Los Angeles riots? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they burned some shit. It pisses me off because he's clearly spreading lies to his viewers. Yeah, he spread more overt lies than this. I mean, I try to keep it factual on my stream. I try to like find the truth and whatnot, and sometimes like what I'm trying to say is like it's sort of understandable for a streamer to spread lies. Okay, it happens. Like sometimes we get shit wrong. Like with me, I remember I said this multiple times. I said the Marines were not dispatched to LA during the 92 riots, and I was wrong about that. Okay, I said that multiple times. My bad. But anyway, like, you're right that there's a difference, though, between the, you tell the truth a lot, you were a bit wrong about, on the Rodney King, but I don't judge, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, it happens. I admit when I'm wrong, and I will always correct myself, okay? I'm not perfect. I don't have every fact memorized about everything. I genuinely did not think that they even deployed the Marines in the 92 riots, but, you know, it's whatever. Still, though, I still don't think it was even appropriate to do it then, in my opinion. Like, sending the Marines into the... And it was controversial back then when it happened, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure I read that earlier on stream. It was, like, a controversial thing. And of course it is. Like, it's never... It's, like, outside of an apocalyptic scenario, I don't think it is appropriate to sick our Marines on civilians. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. But, you know, that being said, it's still more understandable to, like, send in the Marines during the 92 LA riots because of... Come on, there's got to be more pictures. Like, there was some crazy shit going down during these riots. Yeah, like, look, like, these are just, like, regular-ass people. People were just, like, 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 look at these people. Just walking into a store, taking things, smiling. Okay, I was trying to find, like, pictures of fires, because there was some gnarly damage that happened. They burned down businesses. Particularly, businesses in Little Korea, I believe. And, like, the Little Korean section of town. Or at Little Seoul. Anyway.
Outside of Ambience Factory.
Let's keep
another
going.
clear example, the LAPD and the city of Los Angeles collaborating with ICE, proving the sanctuary city was always bullshit. Mayor of LA silence support.
Why should LAPD not work with ICE? They're both government organizations that are designed to stop crime. there's crime all over fucking LA right now.
This apparently.
They should not work with them because they are the Gestapo. They are the secret police. That's why. Okay, they're Nazis. If you collaborate with Nazis, that makes you a Nazi. And when people recognize that you're a Nazi, you are undermining the trust that people have in their government, in their local government, their local municipality. That's why it's bad. Okay, it's bad enough that ICE exists in the first place. It's even worse when our local governments are collaborating with them, which they are overwhelmingly now. It was before there were sanctuary cities. Okay, there are still some sanctuary cities, but LA was one of them, and poof, that went away like 3 days ago, and there was no warning. There was no warning. I don't remember a warning or anything. I didn't read anything about it. Maybe there was news about it. I don't know. But the way I remember it is the first thing I saw about it was ICE is in LA. They're knocking down doors. Like, that's what I saw. I didn't see anything like any articles like, LA is no longer a sanctuary city. Like, nope, it was just immediate ICE. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Homeland Security and ICE is raiding a downtown Los Angeles warehouse right now.
Good.
They've locked the doors and holding the employees inside.
All right.
This is straight up Gestapo.
Right, so the Gestapo are the Nazi police. Like, it is crazy that he can even compare this.
Yes.
These are people going after violent
not crazy.
rioters and illegal immigrants that should not be in the country. Nazi shit.
Breaking, the president of California's largest union has been detained during an ICE raid. The SEIU California president David Huerta injured, detained at apparently Homeland Security and ICE is raiding a downtown Los Angeles warehouse right now.
Good.
They've locked the doors and holding the employees inside.
All right.
This is straight up Gestapo.
Right, so the Gestapo are the Nazi police. Like, it is crazy that he can even compare this. These are people going after violent rioters and illegal immigrants that should not be in the country. Nazi shit.
Breaking, the president of California's largest union has been detained during an ICE raid. The SEIU California president David Huerta injured.
Crazy that he can even compare this.
Security and ICE is raiding a downtown Los Angeles.
Hold on, wait, I got this.
Lock the doors and holding the employees inside.
All right.
This is straight up Gestapo.
Right, so the Gestapo are the Nazi police. Like, it is crazy that he can even compare this. These are people going after violent rioters and illegal immigrants that should not be in the country. Nazi shit.
Violent rioters and illegal immigrants.
California president David Huerta injured, detained at ICE.
Nazi shit.
Maybe he shouldn't have tried.
Yeah, you're right, man. It is Nazi shit.
Yes, that is a communist star.
It's coming from Adolf himself over here.
Someone that provides, in my opinion, material support to terrorists. He should be arrested by any normal government
It's
that
not
actually enforces
material
laws.
support.
Karen Bass says we will not stand for this. This morning we received reports of
Right, this is fucking awesome. This Karen Bass message.
federal immigration enforcement actions in multiple locations.
Giving your opinion on the internet is material support.
As a mayor of a proud city of immigrants who always contributes to this city in so many ways, I'm deeply
Technically.
okay. Why the did the LAPD also?
I'll be right back, chat.
Outside of the ICE enforcement action.
Because there were people that were violently assaulting police officers, lighting cars on fire, throwing rocks at cops, destroying public property, vandalizing the city. What are you talking about? Why is LAPD involved? He's like, I can't believe it. Karen Bass is completely capitulating by getting people to arrest violent fucking criminals.
Like, you're the
insurrecting the government. He's so mad that people are doing their job. He just wants anarchy. He just wants chaos. He just likes terrorism.
Mayor Karen Bass. You have control over your goons.
The goons are the police in this case. That, by the way, Hasan shits on police all the time. Hasan laughs when he sees videos of police getting shot, all right? So this is the guy that's telling you to control your goons. The goons are arresting the criminals. Thank God for the goons.
LA emergency protest from the Community Self-Defense Coalition Stop Deportations Now. ICE has hundreds of members of our community kidnapped and is holding them at this location.
Kidnapped. Dude, look how they fucking do this shit. They call it kidnapping because it's like, dude, it's not, there's no one's getting kidnapped. There are people getting arrested. No one's getting kidnapped.
What the is happening, bro? What the This is my backyard. Jesus, Lord mercy. FBI riot team is out in the streets of Los Angeles and getting pushed out by community on the ground. I can't even go down there today because my live stream backpack got canceled.
He's such a pussy. He's such a coward. It's amazing. Look at this guy. Oh, I can't go to Gaza. I would literally go to Gaza, but I can't go to Gaza because it's dangerous. I would literally go to this riot. Oh, I can't go to this.
Hold on. I wanna run that back. But he did go to the protest, by the way, but he hasn't covered that yet. So this guy's Nux Taku is always like 1 or 2 days behind. It's kind of lame. I'm always up to date. Okay, my VOD, I'm watching things live, and then the next day I'm uploading it. Okay, that's how it works. So I'm only ever like a day late. I wish right-wingers would just admit that they're scared of America being non-white. Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? They do admit that. What are you talking about, man? do we live in the same country? Look. Wait, there's a Wikipedia article about this, I think. About white replacement. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson believes this shit. He was saying this shit to my grandparents every night. Every night at like 7 p.m. or whatever. Yeah, no. Yeah, this is like, I mean, I know it's, it's a conspiracy theory. This shit is mainstream, okay? This is not, I would not call this a, like, when you call it a conspiracy theory, it sounds too fringe. I'm not really saying it's wrong. It's like not technically wrong to call it a conspiracy theory. So why don't they just move and their problem is resolved? I don't think that's I don't think that's like a realistic solution. They're just gonna go somewhere else and see a brown person and freak out. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah, their daughter is gonna date somebody that's like, you know, one tiny shade darker than her, and they're gonna be like, they're genociding us. We're being genocided. In August 2018, United States President Donald Trump was accused of endorsing the conspiracy theory. What? And he literally. No, wait. Okay, here we go. In 2025, Trump openly claimed there was a white genocide in South Africa. The Netherlands is mostly white? Yeah, I mean, I guess they could go there. I don't know. They couldn't. Why did they not move there? Because they're poor. They're poor and white. Like, white people that believe this shit are poor and uneducated and have no means of moving out of their fucking trailer park, let alone to the Netherlands. But anyway, in 2025, Trump openly claimed there was a white genocide in South Africa. That is insanity, and the craziest part about it is that, like, it's somewhat based in reality, okay? Like, not actually, like, it's not a white genocide, okay? But, like what they're calling white genocide is just reparations. Not even reparations. Like, when the apartheid ended in South Africa, when it ended on the agreement, the unilateral agreement that white people would give their land back to black people. That is what the deal was. Okay, and now we're here in 2025, and 90% of the land is still owned by whites, despite them only being like 10 or like 12% of the population or some shit. I think it's less than 10, actually. But think about that. 10% of the population owns 90% of the land. So anyway, now they're finally being forced to sell at market rate, by the way. Like, they're being paid fairly for their land. But that's white genocide, apparently. That's white genocide. Yep. That's what that is. Anyway, let's keep going.
My backpack's not working. My backpack broke.
Oh, wait, there was something I wanted to say. He said something like 20
FBI
seconds
riot
ago.
team is out in the streets of Los Angeles and getting pushed out by community on the ground. I can't even go down there today because my live stream backpack.
Nah, it was before this.
What the is happening, bro? There's hundreds of members of our community kidnapped and is holding them at this location.
Kidnapped. Dude, look how they fucking do
Yeah.
this shit. They call it kidnapping.
This is it.
Because it's like, dude, it's not, no one's getting kidnapped. There are people getting arrested. No one's getting...
No, they're not getting arrested. If you get arrested, you're supposed to get a trial. You're supposed to go to court. Okay, that's what getting arrested is. You go to jail, and then you get a court date. That is what being arrested is. They are not doing that. Okay, so it's not an arrest. And, in fact, it's just a kidnapping. They are kidnapping people. They're black bagging them. They're throwing a bag over your head in the middle of the street and throwing you in a car and shipping you to El Salvador. How is that getting arrested? How the fuck is that an arrest? To arrest someone, you have to charge them with something. You have to charge them with a crime, and then they get the opportunity to dispute that in court. That is not what's happening to people when ICE abducts them. Okay, it's not an arrest. I'll skip back ahead.
He's such a pussy. He's such a coward. It's amazing. Look at this
He's a
guy.
pussy.
Oh, I could go to Gaza. I would literally
How
go to
come
Gaza.
more non-whites doesn't scare you? I'm not even talking out of my ass. I'm just curious.
My backpack's not working. My backpack
Why
broke, guys. Listen,
you're asking me why, like, non-white people don't scare me? I don't know. I'm stupid. Like, people are scary, okay? Not just brown people, but like white people too. Okay, because people have hands and fingers. And anybody with hands and fingers is capable of killing you. So, like, theoretically, we should be just all scared of each other. We should be scared of everyone. I should be terrified of everybody. But for some reason, I'm not. And, like, I don't fully I don't even know why. I don't understand why. But, like, I'm just not. I'm not scared of people. I don't know. I don't really assume that anybody's gonna kill me. Right? I just don't. Unless it's a cop. Okay, the cops I'm scared of. Okay, yeah. Yeah, like yeah, cops will kill you, and you know they got guns. And you know they got hands and fingers too, so yeah, like cops are always scary. Doesn't it make you uncomfortable having a community that doesn't really resemble you? Nah. Nah, not particularly. I've always been a black sheep. I feel like I've always felt like one. In my family, in my school. And, like, I'm not, like, salty over it. I'm not, like, I'm not upset. I felt like people tried to include me. But, like, I was just too, cringe and autistic for people for me to, like, fully assimilate. So I've always been, like, a little bit of an outsider, I think. You know, it happens. But, anyway, let's continue.
I'm sorry, I have a twisted hair in my nose. I can't make. What a fucking bitch. Out here. My bro's literally sitting there from his fucking mansion, yelling and screaming about resistance.
Man, I have to get it. I have to.
Yeah, we gotta give him a break.
Champagne
It's
socialist.
not a big deal.
But what we want to
So do it. So go to the riot. Go help your boys.
point out here is
It's not a
those
riot.
officers are now leaving. The ATF officers are very slowly
It
moving,
might
and you'll
become
notice that
one,
some
but-
on the ground are trying to get the
but it ain't a
people to
riot.
move out of-
By the way, you see what the chat is spamming. By the way, ACAB is all cops are bastards, right?
And by the way, if it does become a riot, especially at this point, but even like a couple days ago, I would have said this. If it does become a riot, it's the cops' fault. It is. Like, undoubtedly. Indubitably. It's the fucking cops' fault. Of course it is. Like, the protesters have been so fucking peaceful relative to what's going on. Like, they're protesting. Think about what they're protesting. They're protesting the secret police entering their city and blackbagging people. Okay, that's what they're protesting. And that's, like, pretty fucking serious. Like, I think that it would be understandable. I would understand somebody who does violence because of that. I understand why people set cars on fire. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying I would do that, but I do understand it. And I would understand if people did it more. I would get why. Again, it's not okay. I do not want people to do it. Okay? I'm just saying, like, I honestly would expect even more, like, violent behavior from protesters in times like these. But they're not, and the police are escalating it. And that's it. Like, the police are just escalating this violence. I don't know how you could look at the footage, all the fucking footage of the protest, and be like, yeah, that's not what's happening. Yeah, it's actually the protesters that are, like, escalating things here. Like, I was watching that video earlier, a guy walked out with what looked like a fire extinguisher and started spraying people with tear gas. They were up, federales were up on the top floor of that federal building, and they were firing rubber bullets and flashbangs down at the crowd. Like, that's crazy. Somebody could have died. Like, somebody may be dead because of that. I don't know. They were firing bullets, like, from above. Like, the bullet doesn't have anywhere to go except into their head. Okay, into their skull. Anyway.
ACAB, Nazi shit. You know, fucking pigs. Like, look at his chat, by the way.
And you'll notice that some on the ground are trying to get the people to move out of the way.
Oh no, they're calling them pigs. Oh.
With some of the people that have been in those vans, and it was a very different scene. You can see that they've got
white are right-wingers.
I agree.
Why
are people
why
rushing
are
up to police cars,
right-wingers
stopping
so
them from
scared
driving?
to call
But in
out
his idea, the
cops
madness is
and
that
how
there
much
are
they
police
abuse their
cars.
power?
Jesus Christ. Like,
I'll tell you why. I can answer that, actually. There's a few different angles to that question, but the main narrative that I'm going to spin here is that cops, why do cops exist? Okay, why do they exist? Basically, they exist. Their job is not to protect and serve or any of that bullshit, obviously. Their real job is to maintain the hierarchy, okay, and maintain order within the hierarchy. Okay, our legislation all revolves around maintaining the capitalist hierarchy, keeping poor people poor, keeping them in, everybody in their same position. Okay, we keep rich people rich, we keep poor people poor, and we pass money around. That's what the elites do. Okay, and the police exist to enforce that. They are the enforcers. So white people are scared that if the police are not able to maintain hierarchy, that the oppressed will turn around and, you know, and start rioting and start looting, okay, and wreak havoc. That's what white people think will happen, by and large. Okay, obviously, I'm generalizing. I'm making a blanket statement about white people. It is not, I'm not saying that, like, every white person thinks this way, okay, obviously. But, generally, that's what it is, okay? Like, white people are afraid. They consume fear-mongering propaganda, and they believe that if there is to come a day where they aren't the oppressors, they will be the oppressed. Okay, what they don't realize, and what I keep trying to say on my streams, is that white people are oppressed. They are already oppressed, okay, by the ruling class. They just don't realize it. Because when there's somebody always below you in the hierarchy, you don't feel like you're a part of the oppressed group. And that's the point. So, anyway, let's keep watching this stupid shit.
He shows images of Nazi Germany. Oh god, it's crazy. This unbelievable level of propagandizing, like this insane fear-mongering, is ridiculous. Now, I want you to notice something, okay? Pay attention. I just showed you a plethora of images of shit on fire and of violent protesters. He does not show any of that in his video covering how fascism has arrived in LA. I'm not joking. This one clip over here is all the footage he actually shows of the riot. This is a political guy, right? He's a political streamer. He's a journalist on the ground.
Not a riot.
He shows no footage of the fucking riot.
out and about, especially where
Is that happening? Do you see this happening at all?
This is
No.
downtown Los Angeles. Downtown Los Angeles. This is a crazy place to do this because California is a state that has a ton of immigrants in it and a ton of undocumented immigrants in it as well.
Great, get them the fuck out.
Oh,
They shouldn't be here. They're illegal in the country. Get them out.
It's supposed to be a sanctuary state, and Los Angeles is supposed to be a sanctuary city. So not only will the people of Los Angeles not surround with this, and they'll definitely get very, very mad about this, but also on top of...
By the way, realize this is Hasan's editor showing the footage because he refused to show it on his stream. Okay? This is what Hasan's editor put on the video, not Hasan.
that, like, the state
And also they're showing stuff where the cops are fighting back, not when the actual riot started.
government and the local government is supposed to protect these people.
Bro, they're beating up police and firebombing cars. What are you talking about? They're supposed to be protecting these people. All these people, they're just mostly peaceful fucking terrorists. Mostly peaceful protesters that are harassing, attacking, looting, and firebombing shit. Mostly peaceful, guys.
What the
No, they're harassing. No, they threw rocks at police. Oh no. Oh, they threw little rocks at police. Oh no. Oh, aw. No, some of those police, they might get hurt. They might get bruises. No. Oh, like what? Are we supposed to... like, I don't know. His audience does eat this shit up, okay? I know they do. Like, let's look at these comments. I almost don't even want to, but... Yep, as a real Californian, I call BS on literally everything Hamas Piker says about this state. Okay. Alright, like what? Like what? Like, say something, then. Yeah, Hasan decides to go out and do journalism. Ends up joining a riot in LA. He literally wants government control over all aspects of life. Yeah. Yeah, based. Yeah, that's what he wants, yeah. Hasan can't repeat what happened to the Jews while supporting people who want to repeat what happened To the Jew. We can't... Oh, yeah, okay. He's saying that Hasan is an evil Jew hater, and he actually wants to do Holocaust #2. 55-year-old female vet, served in 91 Desert Storm, spent my entire life as a medical professional. I have plenty of empathy. But please tell me why these asshats are trying to turn the U.S. into a third world hellhole. Why come here just to create some circumstances they fled from? This is not what I served for. Yeah, you served to, you want to know what you served for? You served to make, money for BP. And for fucking, Marathon, or whatever the fuck they're called. Fucking moron.
Yeah, bring in the military, baby.
Earlier today, Stephen Miller let out a notice to ICE and Homeland Security and Customs and Border Patrol to 5x their apprehension numbers, by the way.
Good shit. If they're illegal, get them out.
This is the result of that. And obviously...
No, this is not
If they're illegal, throw a bet. If they don't have the correct paperwork meticulously rubber stamped by a bureaucrat, then black bag them and send them to El Salvador. By the way, I want to say this. I want to say, because he says this a lot. Every time he says get them out, that's what he's saying. Whether he's thinking about it or not, I doubt he is. Okay, he's just saying it and not really fucking thinking about it like most Republicans. But when they say get them out, they're saying take the people that don't have the appropriate paperwork and throw a bag over their head and put them on a plane and send them to a concentration camp in South America. That's what they're saying when they say that.
Result of that. This is the result
Okay?
of violent riots.
Do not be mistaken.
Liar. What is happening, bro? This is the result of the violent riots that went on this city, burning cars and attacking people. Stop, Mr. fucking Fidel Castro cosplayer here.
Because all of the actual criminal migrants were already being prosecuted by the previous administration, as I told you.
Wrong. There were tons of criminal migrants that were not properly prosecuted and let out of prison by the previous administration. And also, every illegal immigrant is a criminal, by definition, because they entered illegally. All right? He's talking about migrants that have criminal
Yeah, they're
records
evil.
aside from the crime of breaking into the country. Nah, dude.
How dare
sorry,
they?
bro.
They're
Go to
evil.
Then you are a criminal migrant.
The only...
And by the way, to be clear, they do not deport anyone that is not illegally in the
Disgusting.
country. I want to make this clear, okay? This didn't happen, okay? Everyone's shouting and screaming about how they're getting, like, legal people. They didn't. They didn't yet. Could you imagine the uproar if they did? They did not.
people that they can actually get are non-criminal migrants that are waiting for asylum and
That are
What about Abrego Garcia? That guy, my bad, I butchered his name. What about him? Though, like, he was a legal immigrant. And they fucking black-bagged his ass and sent him to El Salvador. I'm pretty sure he's still there. Right? Abrego Garcia. Abrego, my bad. I added an extra I in there. On June 6th. Alright, so he's back. He's back. Well, our hands are clean. We only sent him to an El Salvadorian death camp for like 3 months. He's fine. He's fine.
illegally in the country.
Another
One
way to try
hand
and
washes
boost those
the
numbers
other.
and continue mass deportations is trying to have people with asylum cases that are already on the court docket come into the courts and then apprehend them at the hallways of the courts. Like, they bring people in and they're like, oh, here's your regular court ordered date. And they go into the court, they talk to the judge, they walk outside, and they get apprehended.
Why are they in the country if they didn't even go through a court case yet, or if they didn't apply? Why are they in the country? They're not there legally, so why are they there?
Honeypotting people who are lawfully cooperating with the federal government.
Because they came here legally, and usually they came here legally,
They did this
and
with
their
Mohsen Valley
documents
as well, if you
expired.
remember, where
No, they didn't. That's a whole
That's
other
why.
situation.
he
They didn't
was a
renew
green
their
card holder
documents.
who went into
Who supported terrorist organizations?
a naturalization
God.
ceremony where they kidnapped him. So he wasn't.
Yeah, they didn't kidnap him, all right? They detained him, and they detained him because he was supporting terrorist organizations, all right? He was a guy on a student visa that supported anti-Western values, that supported the downfall of Western civilization, okay?
Yeah.
Why should he be here? Why
Yeah,
should
that's
a
what he
country like
said,
us-
yeah.
We would definitely want to invite you into our country where you could, help contribute to the downfall of Western civilization. Why?
No, he's talking about a person that was just anti-Israel, by the way. That's like all. He just, like, doesn't... He was just like, yeah, like, Israel is doing a genocide and that's fucked up and like we should stop supporting that. Okay, evil terrorists! Get out! Get out! Get out of our country! You're arrested! We're gonna brutally fucking brutalize you! We're gonna...
To not give a student visa to a guy that supports United States designated terrorist organizations.
Is not done to stop crime, is my argument.
Right, so his argument that this is not done to stop crime. But you see, the retard in the room, which is Hasan, Diddy, Bin Laden, Adolf, Epstein, Piker over here, he might not know this because he's too busy having sex with prostitutes, but the reality is, this is stopping crime. You know why? Because 99% of the border crossings illegally have dropped since Trump went into office. That is 99% less crime. This guy does not give a shit about 300,000 children that went missing at the border. He never cared about the fentanyl deaths that were pouring over the border.
There just weren't that many illegal crossings in the first place, bruh. There just weren't, okay? No matter how bad you want to, like, make that the reality, there just weren't that many illegal crossings, okay? To put it into perspective, I believe... I'll look it up in a second, okay? But off the top of my head, I believe like 85% of illegal border crossings happen in the fucking air, okay? On a plane. Do you understand? Like, people fly here on a visa, and then they just don't go back, okay? And that is a majority of illegal crossings. And what has been done to stop them? Nothing, because you can't. Because they came here legally, and then they just didn't go back, which makes them illegal. That's it.
Cared about the criminals that were entering the country. He never cared about any of these people. You know why? Because he's making believe that none of this existed. This guy supports everything anti-American ever of all time. All right? 99% decrease at the border means 99% less crime committed by illegal people in the country, as well as the crime of jumping over the border illegally.
Is my point.
So his point is wrong.
This kind of enforcement is done.
Yeah, illegals are doing so much crime. They're doing so much crime, guys. They're doing so much crime. They're not. They're hardly doing any fucking crime, okay? It's not gonna make you any safer. It will not make you any safer to deport illegals. That's fucking stupid. That's so fucking stupid. Like, even like a majority of drug offenses, of cases where people bring drugs over the border, like drug border offenses, a majority of them are white people, are Americans. I'm sorry, I misspoke. American citizens. Maybe not white people. I don't know. Probably, though. Because a majority of them, like I said, are American citizens. Jesus Christ. And that's just like drug border crossings, okay? We're not even talking about general crime statistics.
It's crazy. Yes, it's clearly a white nativist situation. He's so busy being a white nativist about it, he accidentally employed Kash Patel, who is not a white guy or a nativist. He was so busy being white nativist, his ex-bestie, Elon Musk, is from South Africa. Well, crazy how that happened.
This is, by the way, this political argument it's the equivalent of being like, I'm not racist, I have a black friend. I have 2 black friends. I have so many black friends. I'm not racist.
Oh, you guys are shitty as fuck. Like, what is even going on, bro? What is even happening? People are so pathetic. Oh my lord. They're deporting illegal immigrants. They're not deporting all Mexicans. Right, give me an example of one Mexican guy that was deported that is a, citizen of the United States. Oh, you can't. Oh, you can't. Oh, this is so sad. Don't forget that the vice president of the United States' wife is an Indian lady. Right? This is like levels of bullshit that no one has ever anticipated.
It's clearly just doing it to be white nativists. It's just trying to undo the great replacement theory. Well, they just only want white people, which is why they're deporting rapists and pedophiles.
Yeah, great argument there, Hamas.
This is, one, federal overreach.
It is not. They're deporting people that are legally in the country, which is based.
Of epic magnitude.
It's not epic magnitude. They're bombing fucking police cars. Arrest the fuck out of them immediately.
Going into a sanctuary state and going into a sanctuary city. Where
they're allowed to do that when there are riots and violence and, you know, shit like that.
No one in California. People in California yell about the crime all the time, but no one in California talks about undocumented migrants.
Yeah, because they were socially convinced by the fucking propagandists and the far left government and the fucking bullshit propaganda pieces of garbage.
And the far left government. That's... sometimes I lose my words when let's replay that. There were a few things I wanted to pause.
Levels of bullshit that no one has ever anticipated.
It's clearly just doing it to be white nativists. It's just trying to
yeah. Also, that voice he did here is weird. It sounds like he's using like a voice changer or something.
Undo the great replacement theory. Well, they just only want white people, which is why they're deporting rapists and pedophiles.
Yeah, great argument there, Hamas.
This is, one, federal overreach.
It is not.
They're rapists. It is federal overreach, okay? And I'll explain why. Because when you deploy the fucking Marines or even the National Guard into a city, it needs to be proportional to what's happening. And, like, objectively, this just isn't a situation where the National Guard nor the Marines are needed.
Deporting people that are
It
legally in the
just
country,
isn't.
which is based.
Of epic magnitude.
It's not epic magnitude. They're bombing fucking police cars. Arrest the fuck out of them immediately.
Yeah, I mean, arrest the one... Sure. Look, if somebody is firebombing a vehicle, they should be arrested. And so I ask, where the fuck were the cops while they were firebombing vehicles? Like, are you telling me... Oh my god, like in the clip where Hasan was over by the car that was on fire? Are you telling me there were no police that could see that? There were none? Are you kidding me? Like, they were all over the fucking place. Where were they? Those guys set that car on fire and it was civilians that were trying to get people away. There was like one girl with a megaphone that was like, get away from the car, like it might explode. Yeah, protect and serve my
Going into a
ass.
sanctuary state and going into a sanctuary city where
You're allowed to do that when there are riots and violence and, you know, shit like that.
no one in California, people in
Culo.
California yell about the crime all the time, but no one in California talks about undocumented migrants.
Yeah, because they were socially convinced by the fucking propagandists and the far left government and the fucking bullshit propaganda.
Yeah, the
pieces
far
of
left
garbage
government.
in LA that
They're so far
better than
left.
Everybody else. That's right. Your grandparents came here and settled in the country in 1776. Well, those guys are villains. You see, that guy that is illegally in the country, no, that dude should be here. Yup. Everyone's a colonizer except for the fucking people that jump into the country illegally. You are such a wild.
Look, I think that land acknowledgements are stupid, okay? I think that they're accurate, okay? They are accurate, but like it doesn't fucking matter how long your family has been here, okay? I guarantee you my fucking family has been here longer than yours, bitch. Alright, this is my land. You get out of here. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, and also, like, hardly anybody was coming here in 1776. It was a fucking war zone. It's a fucking war zone, okay? People were shooting at each other. There were the redcoats. Redcoats were everywhere. My family came here before that. Before all that shit popped off. Anyway, let's keep going.
Terrorist-loving fuck. It is crazy that this is happening.
People in California do not point to undocumented migrants.
Who cares what they point to? They're part of the country, and they elected Donald Trump as the president of the United States, largely because of the migrant invasion, as they call it. And honestly, when I see what's going on in LA, I actually agree. There's a foreign entity, a borderline criminal army, storming the streets of Los Angeles. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of brown people. Yeah, they're scary. Yeah, there's like a lot of scary brown people. It must be an army.
Have to do something about it. As a matter of fact,
Fucking
it's one of the greatest
racist, man.
examples that I always use all the time. Like, people will make a big fuss about undocumented migrants in Texas, but there's more undocumented migrants in the state of California. And
It does. I should like it when he's overtly racist, but like it's disgusting. It is disgusting that he's saying this and that people are listening to him and they're like, oh yeah, this is owning the libs. This is owning the libs so hard. I hate it.
I don't even know why we're like playing this fucking game. You ready for a crazy revelation? All right. So in 2020, according to the California Department of Justice, 3,946 Californians died due to fentanyl overdose in 2020. In 2021, 5,900 people died of fentanyl in 2021. In 2022, 6,400. That's even more. In 2023 and beyond, we didn't have complete approximations. But since 2020, it seems like there were between 27 and 29,000 fentanyl-related deaths in California. How the fuck did fentanyl get there? Huh? Where do you think that shit came from? I'll be real, it didn't get there legally. So how did it get there, motherfucker? So just because the complete retards in California that have been brainwashed by the insane woke bullshit retards, just because of that, you really think that nothing's happening? Mostly from China? Yeah, but how does China get into the United States? Over the border. So these people are actually retarded if they think that it doesn't affect anyone, that there are mass illegal immigration pouring over the border, including gangs and sex traffickers and human traffickers and drug traffickers. And that's just fentanyl. That is literally just fentanyl. The Californians are retards. Not all Californians are retards. They're mostly peaceful retards over there in California, okay? I'll just be real. So when Hasan makes an argument like this, it is so wildly misrepresenting.
There are so many racist. There are so many racist Californians. There are a lot of based Californians. Californians, okay? Don't worry, guys. I'm Nux and
Because he's saying just because they want the Californians want the illegal immigrants there, so therefore they shouldn't
I mean,
be
Nux
That's
talking.
retarded. There's a country. The president was elected based on this. Shut the fuck up.
And yet no one ever complains about it because it is a part of our communities.
Okay, so if I don't complain that there are people raping and murdering people, does that mean that the government should not arrest them? If nobody complains. Let's say tomorrow California wakes up and they decide that rape becomes legal. And all of a sudden everyone in California is raping each other. All right, this is just a hypothetical, but everyone decided in California it's okay. Should the government arrest the rapists? Now, I personally think they should. Personally, I do believe that should be the case. Yeah, they should definitely do that shit. But why? The people in California don't care. I don't care.
Undocumented and documented migrants are a big part of our community.
Well, the undocumented ones should not be a part of the community.
It is a part of the social fabric in Los Angeles. It's a social fabric in a
Yeah, Los Angeles' social fabric sucks, though.
part of the California
So
culture.
not a good
There are
argument.
workers that pay taxes.
A lot of them don't pay any taxes, which is part of the reason why they use them, because they bring in illegal immigrants, they can't get jobs anywhere, and they make them fucking work hard as balls. They pay them off the books, they don't pay taxes, they work a lot, they take Social Security that I am paying for, and that every American pays for, that they are taking. They are a burden on the system 100%. There's no way you could say...
What? Run that back.
balls, they pay them off the books, they don't pay taxes.
Workers that pay
He's like the reason, like he's actually like close to the truth here. He is, okay, but I need to hear that
A
again.
lot of them don't pay any taxes, which is part of the reason why they use them, because they bring in illegal immigrants.
A lot of them don't pay taxes. That's wrong. That is so fucking wrong. Okay, first of all, if you buy anything, you're paying taxes. Okay, that's how buying things works. You have sales tax. You have road tax when you buy gas. Okay, every time you buy gas, you pay tax, and that money goes towards roads. I know, shocking. But anyway, they do pay taxes. Yeah, they get paid under the table, okay? They don't pay income tax. They can't pay income tax. If you're an illegal, it's impossible to. But they do pay taxes. In fact, they pay more than their fair share of taxes. Why? Because they don't have access to welfare programs. They don't. They can't, if they lose their job, they can't collect unemployment. Okay, they can't get food stamps. They are paying into these programs through sales taxes, through the local municipalities tax system. But they're not getting anything back from it. Okay, and furthermore, yeah, even though they're not paying income tax, it's not like they're getting anything from that too. Because they're not. Because they're fucking illegal.
Can't get jobs anywhere.
Dumbass.
They make them fucking work hard as balls. They pay them off the books. They don't pay taxes. They work a lot. They take
Just give them paperwork, okay? That is what the Biden admin did, and it was super controversial, even though all they did was just give people paperwork to fill out, to make them legal. Biden committed the ultimate crime of giving brown people paper to write their name down on.
Security that I am paying for, and that every American pays for, that they are taking. They are a burden on the system 100%. There's no way you can say this. They take jobs from other people.
100% burden on the
system. Pay them off the
system.
books that they do not pay taxes for, that my taxes go to support their life.
Yeah, they're taking our jobs, doing lawn work, doing landscaping. Yeah, white people want to do that so badly, and they would totally do it for the wages that illegal fucking immigrants take, okay? No, they won't. Nobody's gonna do that. And furthermore, deporting them is not going to land these jobs in the laps of white people. Or Americans, for that matter. It's only going to strain the current workforce. Okay, you're going to have illegal people who don't get deported, who get lucky, lucky quote unquote, who are going to pick up the slack. Because if they don't, they know what will happen to them. They'll be going to El Salvador. Okay, that's how this shit works.
You're retarded.
They're just trying to make a living.
And and they vote. All right, there's no voter ID laws in California. They fucking vote.
They're not doing anything to anyone. They're not.
Well, that's just not true. That's a lie.
No, they're not disrupting anything.
Well,
and
some
yet,
are.
now the federal government has decided that they're going to do this anyway. And
Yeah, that's the law. He's so mad that countries have laws. And every time that there's some sort of legal thing that happens in the country, he's so mad that you can't just have an uprising, a violent uprising. Bro is praying, please, please, let Hamas start a fucking sleeper terrorist cell in America.
here we are, a tremendous amount of resistance and a tremendous amount of resentment born out of this kind of
Sleeper
illegal enforcement,
terror
this
cell?
ridiculous
It's not illegal enforcement.
action. Our leadership needs to step in. This is the reason why
The leadership did step in. The leadership stepped in. These people were fucking bombing cars. Yeah, the leadership stepped in and they're going to jail. Sorry.
people vote Democrat to step in times like this,
What the fuck does that even mean? Are the Democrats supposed to stand and protect the violent rioters?
so that there are sanctuary city protections. It is ridiculous. The fact that Los Angeles Police
No,
Department
no, Democrats were supposed to stop the conditions which were a catalyst for the riots, quote unquote, in the first place. Okay, the riots. Oh, they're so violent. The violent, evil riots. Yes, Democrats are responsible for this. They were supposed to fight for minorities, for illegals. They failed. That's it. That's why this is happening, because Democrats failed. And they failed on purpose. They wanted this. Don't be mistaken. But regardless, the reality is the same. Whether it was intentional or not, Democrats failed to do their job. And now this is happening.
Just ranting and raving without showing any footage of the actual incidents.
offering cover for ICE and federal law enforcement to
He's so mad that people are actually keeping the law and protecting the law enforcement.
engage in
So
those
I guess he
violent operations
recorded
in
this
warehouses
before
is
Hasan
completely
actually went
unacceptable.
there, because
Yeah, says who?
he
Not
goes
the law.
to the
not the Democrats,
the
even. Not
protest.
the Republicans. No one thinks it's unacceptable except for this one terrorist supporting simp.
I can't believe it. Like, I just this
Oh,
is pure and utter fascism.
It's pure fascism. Arresting people that do crimes, fascism. Look at this guy. Look at him. It's pure fascism. Arresting criminals. Oh fuck. Oh, anything but that, please.
In full display. Make up a fake problem.
Look how he's trying so hard to tell his people that they need to fight back. This is fascism. It's evil. It's overreach. It's kidnapping. Stand up. Fight back. That is what he is saying here. All right.
Undocumented migrants are responsible for crime.
They are responsible for crime. It doesn't matter if it's a lower rate. It doesn't matter if it's a higher rate. They are responsible for crime. If one person in the United States got raped by an illegal immigrant, then that is a tragedy, and that shouldn't have happened because that person should not be in the country. It is completely irrelevant.
And
It's
then
such an irrelevant stat.
The process of
They're
fixing the problem
rapists.
that you,
They're
It's not made up. It's
raping.
taxing. It's a burden
They're
on
doing it so much. They're evil savages.
drugs and with sex trafficking. Like, dude,
Fucking
stop,
piece
stop,
of
stop making
shit.
believe this doesn't happen.
really whipped up a frenzy around. You go and you hurt regular ass people.
Yeah, which regular ass people got hurt? I didn't see any regular ass people getting hurt. If that happens, that's abhorrent. But if the regular ass people are rioting and breaking into stores and throwing rocks at cars and lighting trucks on fire, then those are not regular ass people. Those are criminals.
Normal ass people. You're just your neighbors. You know what I mean?
What's up, my neighbors? Today we are getting arrested by ICE.
People that are not causing harm to anybody.
Like I said before, the cars that were set on fire, there were like how many? How many cars were set on fire? Like 6, maybe. Okay, 6, and it was done by probably like 1, 2, maybe like 5 people. Okay, let's be real. It doesn't take but like one person to light a car up. Okay, and then just go to the next one. Go to the next car. So yeah, a majority of the protesters were non-violent, and you're just wrong.
That are lighting cars
You're
on
just
fire.
fucking wrong.
Those
Like,
people not. What are you talking about? You retard.
While simultaneously claiming
Nobody
that you are
was
doing this because
looting.
you have to
Nobody
go after
was
criminals.
robbing
Okay,
stores.
why
That
are you
wasn't fucking
deporting
happening.
4-year-old cancer patients then?
Are they legal in the country? Obviously, that's a horrible situation, and it's really, really sad. But you.
I'm pulling up the photo again. I'm pulling it up. Let's run that back. He said kids with cancer getting deported. Hasan says kids with cancer getting deported. Nux Taku in his infinite wisdom responds with, were they legal though? Were they legal though?
Are you claiming that you are doing this because you have to go
I don't
after
care if they
criminals?
have
Okay,
cancer. Look at
why are
this.
you deporting 4-year-old cancer patients then?
Are they legal in the country? Obviously, that's a horrible
Are
situation.
they legal in the
It's really,
country?
really sad.
Oh, it's so
You
horrible.
realize that this
I just
headline
hate it
is
so
wildly
much.
Misrepresenting the case. 3 U.S. citizen children, one with cancer, deported to Honduras, lawyers say, with the parents that are illegal in the country. Stop. All right, but you realize what this is? It's like, okay, so leave the 3 kids here and just send the parents.
Why are you deporting mothers? Why are
I
you?
don't know, the mothers shouldn't have.
Du siehst aus wie ein Scheißer Autounfall!
In Casey, mother of 3 U.S. U.S. children, including autistic 5-year-old, to be.
I did that a little too well.
The emotional manipulation is crazy. Listen, lady, you should have thought about this
My
before
bad.
you decided to have your autistic 5-year-old. You should have considered that when you enter the country illegally.
A warehouse where people are
Deport the family with her. No one's stopping you.
working during the work.
Look at this. Look how crazy this is. It's like
Humanely deport the whole family. Let's keep them together. Let's go. We're doing it so humanely. Yo, humanely deport all of the family members to an El Salvadorian death camp.
Children with cancer deported with the parents.
You did
3
that
US
well
citizen children
indeed.
not deported.
Are you a German? No. No, I don't have any German heritage, to my knowledge. I don't, probably not, no. But I speak German.
Just a parent. Look at this. Look at the hypocrisy. Damn if you do, damned if you don't.
I took it
See how
because,
retarded this is? No, I can't believe
it
you
was
wouldn't
the
deport
closest to
children.
English
No, I can't believe you wouldn't
that
deport
we
the children.
had.
No, it doesn't matter.
Why are you going to a warehouse where people are working during the workday?
German
Maybe
is
they're
actually
not
very
legally in the
similar to
country and they should
English.
leave. If someone breaks into your
In a
house
lot of
illegally,
ways.
you kick them out, all right? If they break into your house and they shit on your couch and they clog your toilet and they start screaming, globalize the intifada, like you would kick them out of your house.
To do a dragnet operation.
Let's
and
go, it's the
maybe
summer of
possibly-
jihad.
Yeah.
Why? Are those the criminals?
Yes!
Yeah, yes, literally, yes.
It's the
yes,
summer
they
of
entered the country
jihad,
illegally.
bros.
They activated the military because these people were burning cars. Yes, you are right. No more emotional blackmailing.
Not happening for any good reason other than the fact that the Republicans have successfully dehumanized entire swaths of the American population.
They're not American. They're not American.
Make
Oh, stop, bro.
no mistake. A lot of these
They're
dudes
not-
that are
they're not
African
American,
are
they're
either
brown.
waiting for their court date.
They're evil
they are
rapists,
they have
brown
the legal allowance
people,
to be inside of US
savages,
They are simply waiting for their court date.
uncivilized.
So they can get processed or have actual visas, temporary work.
Look how he mixes these situations together. These temporary visas that he's talking about is he's talking about people that are supporting terrorist organizations, all right? That they're removing their visas because they're supporting terrorists. So they're like, why the fuck do I need to give you a visa? It is a privilege to be in this country, all right? If you are going to support the
Why can't we support, like, I'm not saying that's what they're doing. I don't think that's what they're doing. I don't think anybody is supporting terror. I don't think anybody on the Free Palestine side is supporting terrorism and, like, terrorism on civilian populations. Like, they just aren't, okay? If you think that, I think you're fucking delusional. But even if they were doing that, should they fucking be deported for that? Like, I thought we were the free speech country. If we're just talking about speech here, just a vocal support, okay, auditory support for a terrorist organization, I agree that it's wrong. It's abhorrent to do that, but like, so like, this is the country where you're supposed to be able to be a fucking Nazi. You can be a Nazi here. Okay, you can be a white supremacist. You can be in the fucking Klan. The Klan is legal. Okay, the Ku Klux Klan is fucking legal. As long as, except when, you know, they're killing and murdering. Okay, that's when it becomes illegal. But, like, being a Klan member is legal. If we allow that, if we allow open support of the Ku Klux Klan, which is a terrorist organization, then why can't we allow people to support Hamas, people to support the Houthis? Why? What is the difference? Explain it to me. Somebody explain the difference to me. They can't. They fucking can't.
enemy, then with all due respect, I don't want you.
Because there
Look
is
at his
no
chat, just
difference.
Constantly bring back militias, armed civilian patrols. Like, look at his chat. If this isn't a honeypot situation, we're missing something.
Work orders. They are allowed to be here. They're allowed to work. It's the administration that magically removes that dial or turns it in the other direction and says, nah, you're illegal now. You're an illegal alien. We have revoked your protection. Do you want...
You do realize in this case, the U.S. Supreme Court lets Trump end deportation protection for 350,000 Venezuelans. That's because they were literally in the country on a time limit, and the time limit ran out, okay? Because of the unrest in Venezuela, they were in the country for a specific amount of time, and those protections ran out, I think, in like...
Is the Klan it is, right? It's a terrorist organization?
It ended already.
I just want to make sure. I want to get my facts
straight.
straight.
Misrepresentation of the facts.
I want to remember
when
this.
someone says illegal alien, there is an image in the back of people's minds, a
Yeah.
racist one for the most part.
No,
Yeah,
no,
just
there
making
isn't.
sure. I mean, obviously,
And
what
it's
they
not
do
like
is
that,
terrorism.
remember?
Like I
There's
wasn't.
no way. I didn't even notice this. He shows a picture of Tecmo
There's no
with her
confusion
shirt
on
still.
that, but
What?
I wanted to make sure
Hopped
they were
over the
actually
border.
classified
Bro,
as one.
This guy is an American citizen, the son of an American citizen, that fought in the military. What is happening?
Right? And came in with a bunch of
Oh my god, I cannot believe he even showed that, to be honest.
drugs, maybe like kidnapped.
Let the deportation on a time limit, and and the time limit ran out, okay? Because of the unrest in Venezuela, they were in the country for a specific amount of time, and those protections ran out, I think, in like 2021 or something. And it's not that they let the deportation protections drop. It ended already. The time ran out. So this is, again, a misrepresentation of the facts.
Understand? When someone says illegal alien, there is an image in the back of people's minds, a racist one for the most part.
No, there isn't.
This idea that like some
Oh my
MS-13
God.
tatted up gang member
There's no way. I didn't even notice this. He shows a picture of Tectone with a berserk symbol. What?
secretly hopped over the border,
Bro, dude, this guy is an American citizen, the son of an American citizen, that fought in the military. What is happening?
right? And came in with a bunch of
Oh my God.
A serial rapist that fought in the military, by the way. That's Tectone's dad. Yeah, he fought. He fought real hard. To do that. Okay? I'm not going to say it again. But, yeah, I mean, Hasan isn't saying that Tectone is actually a gang member, okay? He's making fun of Republicans that say that because these, like, brown people have tattoos, they must be gang members, okay? That's it. He's, like, showing how insane it is to just look at someone's tattoo and be like, yeah, like, they're, like, this person's a gang member, like they're in a gang, clearly. Look at their tattoo.
I cannot believe he even
Tectone's
showed
not
that.
in a gang.
drugs, maybe like kidnapped people, did a bunch of crimes. That's not how it is.
They broke into the country illegally. They committed a crime. They should leave. I really am shocked that this needs to be a discussion. All right, let me be honest. If someone breaks into the country illegally, the punishment for that crime should be to kick them the fuck out. Unlike Tectone, who's an American citizen, goddammit, and for real, he's here. He's an American citizen, and he has the right to be here. And this dude is gonna sit there and he's gonna grandstand that anyone they don't like gets arrested. That's literally not happening.
Here, if you want to understand like how little this has
Look how he decides. You know what?
a bunch of crimes, that's not how it is. Here,
I'm not gonna show you any more of these actual protests.
if you want to understand like how little this has anything to do with criminality, how
I'm gonna show you a completely random clip that I found from somewhere that's going to absolutely show you the proof.
little this has to do with criminality. Look at this. Trump's masked ICE Gestapo snatches a woman when her lawyer
Anyone that calls ICE the Gestapo is someone that's not worth listening to.
goes to the bathroom, then forcibly carries her into an elevator after she appears.
Oh,
to
I
flee.
heard
Wait,
about
wait,
that.
when someone
Yeah, that
is
was
at an
crazy.
immigration court proceeding, they're in the hallway. ICE comes in, apprehends the person in the hallway when they notice that her lawyer is in the bathroom.
Her lawyer's in the bathroom. That's why they're taking her now.
I mean, that's the theory of this random guy that's filming the TikTok, but I guess, hey, might as well just push that propaganda so your chat can say Nazi scum 1,000 times.
I mean, the question is it false? And the answer? Probably not. Like, based on the context. Okay, number one, because it makes sense to arrest someone when their lawyer ain't around. And you know that you can just disappear them. You can black bag them. So yeah, like, it makes sense. I'm not saying, I wasn't there, I don't know the situation, but like, yeah, if you're an ICE agent and you want to arrest someone and their lawyer's around, you probably want to wait for the lawyer to, you know, fuck off.
You wait until her lawyer leaves. Seriously, her lawyer's in the bathroom. I'm recording it.
Mass agents, by the way.
Yes, because people are harassing them and doxing them and swatting them.
It's illegal now
No,
for
oh no.
you to wear a mask when you're in a protest.
Thank God. I love that idea, by the way. I think that's awesome. I don't want to
They're
see people with
being
masks. If you're fighting
harassed.
for something, I think you should put, you know, do it. Hell yeah. Who needs a mask? Listen,
Yeah, I don't. Something tells me that Nux Taku was not like crying when Milo Yiannopoulos was doxing trans students at universities. That wasn't a problem. But doxing the wholesome, good, trad ICE agents, suddenly that's a problem.
your face. So, I'll be real. I totally get not wanting to show your face.
Crazy.
I fully support that. But I think it's kind of funny.
Or just in general, even if you want to mask up for other safety or
Alright, that's bullshit. You just invented that. Nowhere did it say that you're not allowed to wear masks for safety.
your own privacy.
Oh, privacy.
But also, like, again, for
Safety.
health reasons, right? You don't want to be a super spreader or whatever.
Bro, are we still doing the super spreader bullshit?
That's illegal. But cops, they can wear masks to hide and protect their identities.
Yeah, because retards like you that call for violence would go and fuck them up, would go and harass them at their houses. Tom Homan has 1,000 people protesting in front of his house every single day.
Interesting.
No.
Public servants wearing masks to hide their identities.
Did you know that the
That
head of
is
the
so
FBI was swatted? Sounds
sad.
retarded, but it happened. They're threatening the children of these officers. I get it.
Why has this become such a
Why
common
can't he
method?
just buy another
Because
house?
of violent retards on the left?
Become a common meta because they know what they're doing.
Arresting criminals?
They know what they're doing is Nazi. They know that there is going to be repercussions for this kind of behavior.
Yeah, by violent retards on the left.
It should be illegal for the cops to wear masks while they're in the process of doing cop shit. We pay these people salaries. What do you mean? They get to just like apprehend people at their court proceedings.
Why not? Why shouldn't they be allowed to wear masks? I don't understand. Why should they not be allowed to wear masks? They have a badge.
Her lawyer's in the bathroom.
But remember in Gaza when they protest and then Hamas murder them? You know Hamas murders Palestinians that protest in Gaza. You're aware of that, right?
Hey, Kate, they're taking your client. Kate, they're taking your client.
And then she fake faints.
She's fainting, Kate. She's a female. Yes, you're allowed to go in the bathroom.
Hall police over here.
Dude, she's fainting on the hallway. Wait till get medical.
No.
You can't. You aren't a medical. You can't transport her.
No, you're not a medical.
Give medical services. Come on. Hey, what, you can't.
This can lead to random ass people pretending to be cops. It already has. A bunch of white supremacists have also been deputized.
Yeah, no one's saying that it's okay if people are pretending to be cops.
According to eyewitness
Bro, dude, no way. Look at the fucking Pride Month Independent logo. That's crazy.
testimony so far in other parts of the country.
Dude, look at the article that he...
Yeah, we don't think it's okay to be cops. Yeah, no shit. Nobody's fucking okay with it. Okay, but it's happening. And why? Because we're allowing police to walk around wearing whatever the fuck they want with fucking mask on. Okay, obviously people are gonna feel more comfortable pretending to be police when that's going on. You fucking moron.
He shows, it literally disproves the argument he's making. He's saying that ICE is deputized white supremacists. But the article that he shows from the gayest newspaper on the planet, Homeland Security, hits back at claims ICE agent at Martha's Vineyard has a white supremacist tattoo. You realize it is literally, the article literally is going against the point that you're making.
They don't have enough manpower to do this kind of shit to begin with.
Yeah, because there's a lot of terrorists in the country.
With the police force that already exists. Even though the police force that already...
Yeah. That's the ICE agent. He has like a, what does he have? Like a cross or something? He has a white supremacist tattoo. Yeah, that was at Martha's Vineyard. Yeah, how does that article? It's just all the article says is, here, I'll recap it for you. An ICE agent, or I'm sorry, a Homeland Security agent has a Nazi tattoo. Okay, they have a white supremacist tattoo. That's what it says. That does not undermine what Hasan was saying.
Against the point that you're making.
They don't have enough manpower to do this kind of shit to begin with.
Yeah, because there's a lot of terrorists in the country.
With the
so many terrorists.
Even though the police force that already exists.
I'm a terrorist. Hasan's a terrorist. So many terrorists in this country.
They're not putting them in concentration camps and killing them, okay? This isn't Gestapo style. The Gestapo didn't
Oh, they're not? That's not what's happening? Okay. La 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 la. That I don't see anything. I have no mouth and I must scream.
They arrested citizens.
La 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 la.
An endless amount of support. They have to deputize people, or use the military, or use the National Guard. That's what the federal government's trying to do.
You can't manhandle her into an elevator. You're manhandling her into an elevator.
Oh my god.
Manhandling her into an elevator, dude. Her lawyer's in the bathroom.
Is there someone that knows the legal ramifications of intervening on this? Oh, there's nothing. Like, I mean, you will also go to jail.
Yeah, you can't
baby.
do
If
that.
you fucking beat up a cop, you go to jail.
They'll probably release you.
No, you don't. You wouldn't even have to beat them up just to like intervene. Like if you were to like stand in front of them or block the elevator, that would be enough. Okay, you're going to jail if you do that. So don't intervene. Just record. Okay, do not ever intervene. If you ever even do anything that is slightly like an intervention in a police situation, that is called obstruction. Okay, and it is a crime. And they'll fuck you over with it, so just don't do it. Just record.
Or you'll get obstruction of justice charges.
Yeah.
The only way to stop this is with overwhelming numbers.
Dude, he's trying to galvanize a terrorist organization.
When there are like a lot of people, like too many people.
Yeah, what are they gonna do?
And the cops feel unsafe, I guess.
Oh, you want to make the cops unsafe?
Yes, to conduct their activities.
Yeah, I want them to feel unsafe. Why should they feel safe with what they're doing?
Back away. There are images from Minneapolis.
Is that inciting violence, chat? What do you think? Overwhelming numbers to make the police feel unsafe? What do you think? Is that inciting violence? I don't know. I'll leave that to you in the comment section below. But I think Hasan is 560% fucked right here.
And even parts of San Diego, or even what you're seeing right now. This kind of mobilization, like mass community mobilization, nation. Protecting one another when our institutions won't protect us is the only way
Well, they don't protect the illegal criminals, right?
to disrupt these sorts of illegal and unjustifiable, unconscionable acts
There are no unconscionable acts. They're arresting criminals.
that the federal government is entertaining and engaging in. And of course, given the way that this administration is
They're
actively
arresting
trying to
criminals. They're
criminalize
arresting
speech,
criminals. That's all they're
not
doing.
criminalizing speech.
They're
They
arresting
did not
them.
invent
They're
a
arresting
single law
them.
about speech.
I'm certain that even me saying this one day could be presented as illegal.
Yes, inciting violence is illegal. It's always been illegal. It has always not been protected by the First Amendment. Inciting violence has always been criminal in the United States. Bro is just coating the fucking floor, making himself like he's a fucking martyr.
Oh, Hasan is urging people to do something illegal. It's like, no.
Yes, yes.
People have a right
Yes.
to engage in civil disobedience.
They're lighting shit on fire. What are you talking about? They're throwing fireworks at police officers.
They're doing,
throwing
yeah,
rocks
they're doing it for Hasan. You're right. Yeah, they're doing it all because of
at
Hasan.
cars. They're flipping vehicles.
for sure, man.
What are you talking about? They're vandalizing. This is not civil disobedience. That's why I showed you why he didn't want to show the actual footage. That's why I wanted to show you earlier the actual context.
Why aren't they resisting the way I want them to? Why?
It's civil disobedience.
Why? That's not
And
what
there
I
are
would do if I were
unjustifiable acts the state
them.
engages in that people have every
It's
right
just
to
so
resist
fucking
against. If
lame,
you look
dude.
at
He's Canadian, by the way.
our
Nux
history
Taku
with
is a
chattel
fucking
slavery
Canadian.
and the defense of chattel slavery.
He's
You look at our
role
history
playing
Shout out to
as
white
an
guys who love
American.
slavery, by the way. Shout out to white people.
with the civil rights struggle.
What?
That was obviously sort of Joe. Resist civilly and obediently.
Our history with chattel
Resist
slavery
civilly and
the defense of chattel
obediently,
slavery. If you look at
okay.
our history
Shout out to white guys that abolished slavery, by the way. Shout out to white people.
with the civil rights struggle, and
That was obviously sort of Joe.
you understand that brave individuals.
Yeah, I mean,
that
look,
found
John
these
Brown-
actions, these legal actions by the state to be unconscionable, and took
That
matters
he,
into their own hands.
look, he
and
was a
protested
swagged up
these
white
kinds of
boy.
actions and
Okay, that
disrupted
shit
these
was
kinds of
awesome.
Illegal and unjustifiable actions. If you find those people,
That was so fucking epic.
If they wouldn't have broken the law, they wouldn't get arrested, right?
to be in the right historically.
Yeah,
then you can
white
understand
white
where we're
people
at
have
right now.
gone mask off and swagged out.
the fuck?
Okay, they have.
How is this a comparison? What are you doing? Look, here is an image of Martin Luther King. Go beat up police officers.
This is inhumane, right? You're ripping people.
Do you think that Martin Luther King absolutely 100% always 100% of the time abhorred violence 100% of the time? He never felt like there was a time and place for violence? You're fucking stupid. You don't know anything about Martin Luther King, dude. You are so fucking dumb. You and I hate it when conservatives do this. They fucking cherry pick whatever these fucking whatever somebody like Martin Luther King, like fucking Mandela, like Malcolm X, they cherry pick things from what they said to make them, to whitewash them. Okay, it's whitewashing. Yeah, Martin Luther King was arrested. He was arrested in my state. He was fucking arrested right here. Do you think that that at the time he wasn't seen as a, oh, he's inciting violence. He's a terrorist. Those aren't the words that they used. Okay, they called them other racist things. But don't be fooled. It's the same thing that's happening now. It is exactly the same. Okay, word for word, bar for bar.
Away from their day-to-day existence for
Well, they shouldn't have come into the country illegally, I guess.
no reason other than the fact that you want them out of the country,
Well, because they came into the country illegally.
right? By lying about their background, saying that
The background they were not background lies. What are you talking about? This is your proof? Fact check Trump's own campaign can't find proof of his mental institution immigration story. That has nothing to do with anything. That is completely irrelevant. That's just Trump saying, deporting over the border, mental institutions, prisons, rapists. Notice how none of that was a hoax. It was just the mental institutions that they say is a hoax. Dog, they go up to these people. If they're not American citizens and they do not have papers to be in the country legally, they remove them from the country. Unfathomably based.
they're criminals. And
Yeah. Yeah, and they do this with the justification being that these other countries sent them here. They sent their worst. They came from mental institutions, they came from prisons. Okay, yeah. That has everything to do with what's going on. Obviously.
dehumanizing them.
We're not dehumanizing them. They broke into the country illegally.
You are denying what is right in front of you.
The funny thing about like these far lefties, every single one of them is like, we do not have the right to be in America. We are evil colonizers. We have colonized this place. We must acknowledge the land that we've stolen. Anyway, these people broke into the country. We need to give them a life here. What the fuck are you talking about?
Exact same way that Nazis did with Jews.
It's not the same as Nazis with Jews. Because Jews were citizens of Germany and Poland and everything else. And the Nazis decided to murder as many Jews as they possibly could in Germany and in Poland and everywhere else that they possibly could. How is that even remotely similar to having a country with borders and laws?
Who's socialist, communist, and using the same process.
Dude, oh, the Holocaust and what it did to the poor
It all
Jews,
just
socialists,
goes
and
right
communists.
over his
Yep,
head,
when I
doesn't
think
it?
Holocaust, my first thought is the communists. Oh, the poor communists. communists.
to basically rip them away from their communities, away from their families, away from their loved ones, away from their place of work. Because
I mean, communists were victims. They were victims in the Shoah. Do you deny that? If you deny that, you are doing Holocaust revisionism. You are revising you are a Holocaust revisionist, bitch. They did go after the communists. It's fucked up, okay? Like, they did. They went after the trade unionists. They killed them, too. And yeah, they went after the Jews as well, and among other minority groups, gay people. Okay, nobody's fucking denying this.
Yeah, but they were
You're the one that is
illegal.
That
is turning a blind eye
Jews
to
were no longer
that.
considered citizens of the state.
Yeah, but they were citizens, and then they removed their citizenship. None of these people were citizens. These people broke into the country illegally.
After the race laws, same with socialists and communists that were also sent to these concentration camps. They were considered no longer individuals of the state. They were actively dehumanized against, and then simultaneously, through the legal process, they became non-citizens. And you
Yeah, but the thing is, they were citizens, and they invented a legal process to remove their citizenship because they wanted to kill Jews, all right? So I'm glad that we're learning history here, because it's important to note that none of that is happening in America even remotely alone, okay?
He did just like somewhat accurately describe the like how the Nazis dismantled the Constitution, started rounding up Jews and to deport them, and then sent them to camps. Okay, it's just like, if you understand that, how do you deny the parallel with what's happening in America right now, right at this very moment? Again, what this person does on this YouTube channel is he just denies what is directly in front of him. Like, he acknowledges real facts, and then he's like, but actually, it means the opposite of what it very obviously means. Okay? It's
Not
so
even
fucking
a little
stupid.
bit. Dude, they are not revoking anyone's citizenship. Not a single person had their citizenship revoked in the United States of America. These are people that came into the country illegally.
Yet.
So they're removing them from the country that they should not be in. Bro, America's so bad and so awful, and everyone is trying to be here. Like, what? Come on, guys.
you can do whatever you want to non-citizens in the, at the time. And
What are they doing? Whatever they want to the non-citizens? Do they have concentration camps and gas chambers?
Yes! Yes! What? What the fuck are we talking about? What do you mean they aren't doing whatever they want? They're not giving them due process. I think that is doing whatever you want. I think it is. When you are sidestepping the Constitution, which says all people within the borders of our country are entitled to due process. They are fucking entitled to it. If you don't do that, yeah, I would call that doing whatever the fuck you want.
For the illegal immigrants? What are you talking about? And this is also important to note. Trump released an app where every single illegal immigrant in the country could just fill out their information and say, hey, I'm here illegally. I would like to leave now, please. And the government will pay for your plane ticket and fly you out. The Jews did not get that option in Nazi Germany.
clearly,
I love how this dude, like, every single argument for Hasan always somehow winds down to, yeah, Jews. Oh, Jews.
that's what
Yeah,
this
just
administration
turn
is
yourself in. Yeah, just turn yourself in. You'll be fine. Yeah, oh yeah, we'll give you money. We'll give you a plane ticket. We'll send you back. Don't worry. That's what we're gonna do. Surely that is what will happen. Surely that's
Well,
what
so
will
even the
happen to you
mechanisms
when
of
you
the
turn
state
yourself
are
in.
damn near identical. And
They're not damn near identical in, like, any way at all.
I do not think that this will stop with just undocumented migrants.
All right, so where's it gonna go? Jews? Who's next?
Why do you need fascism in a country like the U.S.?
I'm a communist, so I'm biased, okay, but I think communist, okay? I think communists are next on the chopping block. It's gonna go like this, okay? It's gonna be the scary illegal immigrants first, okay? Then the communists, then the trade unionists. Yeah, I mean, after that, maybe, like, trans people. Maybe trans people are next. I don't know. It's hard to say. It could go a lot of ways. It could. I don't know. I'm leaning more towards
Great
communism.
question. It's because
It's
The-
not
the
a great
communists.
question. Oh my God.
because when both parties are still puppets of capitalists and capital owners,
Hey,
there's still a lot
if
of
being
issues
a
going
communist
out
is
of
illegal,
the contradictions
lock
there's-
me up,
there's
man.
still a lot of economic volatility,
Throw
economic
away the
instability,
key.
and people get angry, they get restless, and one party, at the very least, has to redirect that attention and redirect that anger and resentment towards more vulnerable populations in an effort to keep things going. Because if people don't actually
Bro's just yapping, bro.
decide that undocumented
He's
migrants
just
or like
crying.
trans people or all these like vulnerable defenseless populations are actually responsible for all the awful things,
Are you retarded? didn't know. Like, why does he do this? He lumps in every fucking poor guy on the planet. Oh, the trans people. They're totally deporting trans people. There's trans genocide happening. You know what's happening in Gaza? That's happening to trans people in America. Bro, what is going on? Like, why do people even let him deal? Why do people let him yap? Operation Let Him Speak. The mental gymnastics are absolutely insane.
He was just talking about what is going to happen. How, like, there are other minority groups that may be targeted and are already being targeted in nefarious ways. After they're done brutalizing the evil, savage illegals. Once they're done with that, they'll move on to another group. Okay, he's talking about who it's gonna be. Who is it gonna be? Who knows? Only time will tell.
They might actually catch wind of who is really responsible for
the billionaires. It's always the billionaires of this fucking socialist cock.
for the destruction of their
Yeah.
It's that simple. Like,
Right. It's capitalism bad. Capitalism bad, socialism good every time. Niels, thanks for the sub.
you might ask yourself that same
I think that that this is so out of touch. It's like, it's so fucking cringe, dude. Like, yeah, defend your billionaires, you fucking peasant. You fucking peasant, Nux Taku. Fucking worship your god kings, okay?
question with Nazi Germany, you know? Why did
I
they do
love
this?
Elon
Tremendous
Musk.
economic
Me,
instability,
Nux
and there
Taku.
was
I
a
love
growing
them
momentum
so
of communism,
much.
trade unionism, socialism in the country.
I love
at
all
the
my
time of unprecedented
billionaires.
economic volatility in the aftermath of World War I.
Listen to my
That's
Trump
not the case now, just to be
impression.
clear.
And the damage that caused, and one group quickly seized
So
on this
fucking terrible.
and redirected that enmity towards social groups that were both simultaneously incredibly powerful and also incredibly weak and dangerous.
Explain to me how a social group could be simultaneously incredibly powerful and simultaneously incredibly weak. Does anyone even fact check this guy? Or does he just talk? Like, you have to listen to this.
Huh?
Were both simultaneously incredibly powerful and also incredibly weak and dangerous.
Explain to me how a social group could be simultaneously incredibly powerful and simultaneously.
Seized on this and redirected that enmity towards social groups that were both simultaneously incredibly powerful and also incredibly weak and dangerous.
Explain to me how a social group could be simultaneously.
I don't know if he misspoke there, but I mean, I'll say it. He's still right. Like these, he's talking about minority populations like Latinos in LA, who are simultaneously, they have a lot of power. They do, like, they have power in numbers, and they are dangerous as a consequence of that. Okay, not innately. I'm not saying they're fucking savages. Okay, they're not. But they do wield a lot of power, just from their numbers alone. Individually, though, they are weak. They are weak, and they are vulnerable, in fact.
Simultaneously incredibly powerful and simultaneously incredibly weak. Does anyone even fact check this guy? Or does he just talk? Like, you have to listen to this sentence again.
Groups that were both simultaneously incredibly powerful and also incredibly weak and dangerous.
Right, incredibly powerful and simultaneously weak and dangerous. That sentence makes no sense at all.
And those groups ended up seizing all of the power while directly collaborating with liberals in power and also with capital owners that wanted to maintain that same hierarchy.
Yeah, also, they wanted to kill all the Jews.
Oh, he was talking about, never mind, my bad.
Maintain their same standards of profit. They wanted to continue the way that the system was going. They were more fearful.
Yeah, wait, what
of,
was
What
he
does this have to
talking
do with
about here?
deporting people that are illegal in the country? Like, dude is just sitting there fear-mongering for half an hour without showing a single bit of footage of what's actually going on.
a workers' revolt or revolution than they were of some kind of fascist control. Because
Right,
fascist
of course,
control
fascist
would
control.
mean, yeah, sure, a lot of people get killed in the process, but I'm fine. I'm a business owner, and I get to maintain my profits. If
Says the guy living in a $3 million fucking house in Hollywood. Right? What is going on, bro? What is happening?
profits are the highest order of priority for you, you don't care what happens to other people. You don't care what happens to workers. You don't care what happens to...
Yeah, so it's pretty cool, though, because Elon Musk joined the government, lost money. Donald Trump is the only president in the United States history that lost money. So you must really like him, because he's proven that profits are not his motivator. So you must be like a big Trump fan.
Workers that become non-citizens in the process, as long as those workers don't actually eat away at your profit margins. One reason people in the U.S.
Reminder that this dude's worth at least $20 million, all right? Reminder that this guy is the uber giga rich that he's talking about.
don't see fascism creeping is because they can't imagine that something this bad could happen.
20 million is not uber giga rich or whatever the fuck he just said. It's just not. Like, it's a lot of money. It's a lot. It is so much money that anybody with that much money would be comfortable for probably easily the rest of their lives and their families. Okay? Like, yeah, it's a lot of fucking money. But it is a drop in the bucket compared to the richest people of this country. It is not even a tiny percent of what the richest billionaires have. Okay, not even close to a tiny, small fraction of a percent. The most difficult thing for humans to understand are exponentials. So I'll break out, not a camera, my bad. That's gonna fucking crash OBS if I fuck this up. Alright, calculator. So the math here is Hasan has, well, actually Elon Musk, how much does he have? What does he got, like 400, 500 billion? I think it's like 500 at this point. So 500, that's 500 billion. And Hasan has 20 million. So if you were to multiply Hasan's wealth by 25,000, and he is very rich. He is the largest. He's the largest political commentary content channel on the whole internet. Okay, he's got all the money. Okay, you would have to have 25,000 Hasans all together to match the wealth of Elon Musk. All right, that's it.
Denial's a powerful thing until it's too late. I think that plays a role in this.
Yeah, denial is not. People aren't noticing that fascism is creeping. But to be honest, everyone elected him to deport illegal immigrants. That's why he won the election. Okay, that was his number one thing that he ran on. That is why he ran the election. Y'all are retarded.
For sure. There's also a lot of people who just simply are like American entitlement, American exceptionalism, American individualism are such powerful forces.
Dude, what are we doing? What the fuck are you talking about?
Such powerful cultural forces in this country that a lot of people genuinely don't understand how this will inevitably impact them. Even for selfish reasons. Even if you can't recognize the humanity of these people being ripped apart.
Guys, humanity is getting ripped apart when laws are getting enforced. But let me remind you, America bad, and it's coming for you.
You can at the very least recognize that, like, when this kind of instability takes root, who's going to pick the fruit?
I mean, I think this dude needs to move back to Turkey.
You can think about it in an incredibly selfish way like that. But
yeah.
Americans have no capacity
Yeah,
to
go back to
recognize that,
Turkey.
right? Because they're too stupid.
Of course,
Yeah, also, I'm not a racist, bro. I'm totally not
These
racist.
kinds of violent enforcement
Go
actions
back to
will inevitably
Turkey,
creep
you
its way into
fucking
your life as
Turk.
well.
Arresting people violently is the
Piece
point
of
of
shit.
laws.
I don't know,
If laws
I
don't
can't
have
think of a-
enforcement, then laws are worthless.
Can't think of a
Gross
Turkish
slavery Hasan argument.
slur.
Like, what are we doing here?
Turk
What is
Roach.
happening?
That's it. That was
There's
the
a-
slur.
Is he against jails?
My
No, he's
bad.
not. He's
Actually, I
pro-jail.
probably shouldn't say
Jailing
that.
people he
It's
specifically
kind of an obscure
What
one, I
happens to
feel
someone that
like.
you love? A neighbor, an immediate family member.
If they're
I
here
remember
illegally,
it, though.
then, they should leave because it's not legal, and there's a reason why there needs to be laws in a country. I don't understand what is happening.
A loved one. This is an
He's like trying these emotionally appeals.
I'll be right
emotional
back.
Blackmailing. They'll come for you. They'll turn for you. Listen, bro. Listen. A country needs laws. Stop.
stoppable force. It does not go away. Fascism is like a ticking time bomb where you either try to stop it.
Hasan is pro-fascism. He is. He's just pro-Islamic fascism instead of being pro-Western fascism. He does support fascism. Do you think Hamas is not a fascist government? The way they fucking rule their people and anyone that dissents gets executed in the streets? He is a supporter of fascism. He just supports the other fascists.
Dead in its tracks at its inception, or once enough instability and enough violence
Oh
has
my God.
taken root.
The violence is being perpetrated by the leftists in America right now. Dude, let me give you an example, okay? Elon Musk joined forces with Donald Trump. The leftists, they bombed Teslas. They blew up fucking Tesla Industries. They vandalized Tesla vehicles, all right? Just last week, Elon Musk had a bit of a tuffle with Donald Trump. They beefed. 80% of MAGA, I would say, is anti-Elon right now because 80% of MAGA really hate that Elon tweeted that Trump was a pedophile. Perfectly justifiably so. I did not see a single video of a right-wing guy keying a Tesla or bombing a Tesla dealership or vandalizing shit. With all due respect, the left is doing the violence. And yes, if they do commit violence, then because thank God we live in a country of law and order, they should get arrested immediately.
In society, that the dam breaks and everyone engages in popular mobilization. And the problem is, the longer you wait to stop these kinds of actions, to stop fascism from growing,
That's because
the harder it will
stupid
be.
fucking MAGA chuds don't give a fuck about any of this. They don't give a fuck about politics. Yeah, they are mad at Elon Musk because they insulted their God King. Their God King Emperor. That's why. Okay, but yeah, they don't really care. And plus, Elon Musk is a loser now. Okay, it's over. He's done. They don't need to keep... Do you think that MAGA people, the same people that raided the fucking Senate, that did an insurrection, the same people that did an insurrection, you don't think they'd blow up some little Tesla cars? Are we serious? Or, like, they don't give a fuck. Of course they would. They would. They just don't, because the reason leftists blew up Teslas is because Elon Musk was in the process of dismantling our federal government, our institutions. The only social safety nets that exist in our country. He was tearing them apart. fucking MAGA people didn't give a fuck about that. Okay, they didn't. They thought it was awesome. But do you think if, like, Elon Musk was a serious threat to Donald Trump, if Elon Musk was like, hey, I have the Epstein files, and I'm gonna drop them, and I'm gonna prove that Trump is a pedophile, okay, do you think they wouldn't blow up Teslas? I mean, what if Trump came out and was like, I want you to blow up Teslas, blow up computer car, everything's computer, blow up all computer. Of course they would. Of course they would fucking do it. You stupid. Trump says jump, they say how high. They say off a cliff. Sure.
The death toll, bro. Who died? Who died, bro? What death toll?
Far larger. Civil disobedience and protests are the actual most peaceful ways of resisting against these kinds of fascist.
Good point. But the reason why the National Guard was mobilized was not because of the peaceful protests. It was mobilized because they were blowing up cop cars. What is going on?
Kind of fascist actions. Violence in retaliation against this sort of thing is inevitable.
No, the cop cars. No.
They started it. Dude, I think you got something totally mixed up. The cops are the reaction, okay? The crimes are the action. All right, if no crimes would be committed, the cops would not be arresting anybody. They're arresting people that are vandalizing shit because they're criminals. They're arresting people that broke into the country illegally because they're criminals. All right,
Yeah.
Stop, bro. It's actually retarded how he's able to manipulate his audience without showing any fucking videos of what actually went down in the country. So he can sit there in his mansion and talk about how the poor people are really being oppressed by the rich people.
Point. People are inevitably going to say, well, you've...
He is saying that it's inevitable that there's gonna be some sort of terrorist revolution in America. That is what he is trying to push, in my opinion.
You've killed my family, or you've...
What? When did this happen? When did this happen? Classic American being like, government, you killed my family. Revenge time. Bro, this isn't happening. This is not happening.
Arrested and sent a loved one to...
If you send a person to a death camp, you killed them. They are dead because of you. If our government sends people to death camps, they killed them. The government killed them. And that's the way that their families will see it. Imagine if Kilmar Garcia died. That'd be pretty tragic. Okay, and obviously I don't want that to happen. But imagine if before June 6th, when he was still at CCOT, he died. Would that be our government's fault? When they wrongly sent him there? When they admitted to wrongly sending him there? And would his family blame them? How would they see it? That's all Hasan is talking about here, by the way. That's it. Okay.
To a slave labor colony.
That's all I got.
Well, if the loved one came into the country illegally and is also I fucking hope
Shit.
that they're in a slave labor colony, as you put it.
Unacceptable. It will build too much resentment. In America, the mechanism of control has always been commodity consumption and also the pressure valve of
Commodity consumption.
the 4-year, 2-year period of the democratic process.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah, like people like buying things. Yeah, it's a good way. Like what is what's stupid about that? Like what's so crazy about that? I don't get it. Commodity consumption actually isn't a mechanism of control? Is that what we're like arguing here? No, he won't argue that. He just wanted like something he just wanted to like laugh at something and be like, oh, that's so dumb, but I'm not gonna elaborate because I don't need to because it's so obvious why it's dumb. And it's like, nah, man, like elaborate. If you're gonna laugh at something, elaborate it.
have a say. The idea that your
Why
vote
is that
matters, the idea
stupid?
that, like, you can actually enact marginal change by voting for one party over the next.
Right.
But when people recognize that that pressure valve is not real, it's just
Why is it not real? What are you talking about? What is happening? Biden did not have borders.
Because it's not real, because both parties do the exact same thing when they get into office, and that, whether you believe that or not, that is how people feel. That is how they feel. They feel like their vote doesn't matter because Democrats get into office and they say like, oh, we're different from Republicans, we're not evil guys, and then they do evil shit. Then they line their pockets and they help their rich friends. And it's like, yeah, like nobody feels like their representatives are, you know, representing them. And when you don't even give people the illusion that their representatives are fighting for them, are trying to help them, when you don't even give people the simple illusion of that, when you can't craft the illusion anymore, is what I should say, they can't release the pressure. And if you can't do that, if you feel like voting is pointless and this pressure builds, then you're gonna have riots. You're gonna have protests that are gonna turn into riots. That's what's gonna happen, especially when your response to a peaceful protest is to send in the Marines. Send in the fucking
20 million illegal
Marines.
people entered the country illegally. So yes, your vote does have consequences, retard. He's just mad that you don't have a fucking terrorist government.
It's just aesthetic. And that authoritarian.
Except it's literally not just
Biden
Just
terrorism
something
government.
Americans don't actually like when it's directed like this. When it's direction.
Well, actually, the majority of
Oh,
Americans do
God.
like it because they voted for this. They literally voted for this. You ask your average American, do you want illegal alien criminals to get deported? They'll say yes. You know how I know? Because all 7 swing states voted for Donald J. Trump.
In this way, when you know
They
this all the
won
time takes
by
place, when it's
slim
happening in broad
margins.
daylight, then people will
Most of
inevitably take
But
up
yeah.
action against these sorts of
Also, I think that's only if you consider Florida a swing
Lindsay,
state,
thank you.
and
from
fuck
Brownsville
you
to
if you
Aaron
do
West
that.
Coast, you Labor is over downtown LA in spot 5.
It's not. It's a Republican stronghold at this point.
The bare minimum protections for its constituents here. There is no reason for them to exist.
What are you talking about? Does he not realize the way the government operates? That, you know, that everyone like votes, and then you get a president, and the president actually is the president of like the whole country. Like, what are you fucking talking about? You want the Democrats to go literally hang themselves on a noose, screaming about illegal immigrants and criminals and violent people and how they should protect them? What are you talking about, bro?
It's completely over. This is. I know I've said this already, time and time again, and I will probably repeat myself quite
He
frequently.
probably will. He does that.
But fascism is here, and I don't mean like, oh, you say everything.
Oh, Lord, he's such a pussy. You know what fascism was? Fascism was locking people in their houses if they didn't get the COVID vaccine. Fascism was COVID mandates and forcing people to social distance from each other. All right? That was fascism. That was fascism. Fascism is, we don't know who ran the country for the last 4 years, because it wasn't Biden. All right? That's fascism.
Yeah. Fascism was protecting the sick and the elderly and the disabled and children from COVID. That's what fascism is. Yeah. Fascism is listening to scientists, famously. No, that's not what fucking fascism is. Okay, you're stupid. You're stupid. Fascism is killing, genocide. It is the like oppression of political dissent. That's what it is. That's what fucking
But
fascism
no, this
is.
is a fascism
Fuck
that I
you.
don't like, because it's when laws are actually being upheld.
Thing is fascism. Like this is the historic fascist
Laws are being
policies that we
broken
know
by our
and we
government.
dislike. We have seen.
We dislike
Fascism
speech
is
for
when the
everyone.
government
What's going
breaks the
on?
law.
We have seen this happen throughout history.
Fascism
This
is
the
when,
moment of truth.
like
Liberals
Hassan said,
completely capitulate,
it's
which I think
when
they are.
As they should.
imperialism
You know, when the
redirects
government is
inwardly.
deporting
It's
illegal
when
immigrants- All right, let me just remind you a little factoid that I'm sure you're gonna like. Did you know that
All right.
Barack Obama, the president of the United States, number 44, that dude was called the deporter in chief. He deported more people than Trump. But don't worry, because he's Democrat, so we like him.
have so far.
No, that could not be further from the truth. First of all, I actually look. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I'm a real big Hasan fan. Okay, I love me some Hasan content. Okay, I do. That's right. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm a Hasan watcher. Okay. Anyway, Hasan has talked about. I'm not gonna say what he called him. Okay, Obama, President Obama, former President Obama. He's talked about him before. Hasan has expressed some Obama opinions. Okay, and what Nuxtaku said here is 100% true. Obama did a bunch of deportations, and he also drone striked children, and he also bombed a children's hospital. He bombed a children's hospital in 2015. Obama did these things. Okay, we don't like Obama. Fucking Hasan does not like Obama. He's not a big Obama fan. Mobamba. I miss that song. I miss those days. Anybody remember Mobamba? Yeah, anyway, Hasan, Like, just tell me you don't know anything about what Hasan thinks without telling me that you don't know anything about what Hasan thinks, okay? That's what just happened.
Far, but we've officially crossed the Rubicon.
The Rubicon has been crossed. We are arresting people for crimes now, for crying out loud. Oh, anything but that.
And we're now at an impasse. Does the administration get away with it, or do they?
You can't say that you're arresting somebody for crimes when you're not charging them with a crime and then giving them due process. Okay, that's not what arresting people for crimes is. That's called kidnapping people. That's called blackbagging people. Okay, that's called Gestapo. Gestapo going into the neighborhoods and fucking putting people on some kind of apparatus for transportation and then flying them to a death camp. Okay, that's what's happening. That's what's fucking happening.
Enforcing the law, yeah, sounds great.
With at least ample resistance from the Democrats, like.
Bro, are they gonna get away with it? Or are they gonna get away with it, but they have to fight, and it's gonna be bloody? Why is this the argument you're making?
That's from the Democrats.
Sure, and Micah, this is the small group that Lindsay was just talking.
What can they do, lol? Are you kidding me? California as a state.
Yeah, what can they do, lol? Watch him try to ass fuck himself with something that the Democrats can actually do about this.
State is a nation state in and of itself.
Yeah, that's part of the country.
Whose economy is like the 5th largest economy on the planet.
Completely irrelevant. They also are part of the United States of America.
California has an army. California has a nation.
An army? You
How
want
much
California to
longer?
have a civil war with the rest of the country to protect people that broke into the country illegally?
State is profoundly important to the American nation. It's the 4th largest. I'm sorry, it's not even the 5th largest. It is the 4th largest. California as a state is the 4th largest nation-state economy on the planet.
That's awesome because everyone in Los Angeles is broke and the homeless community in Los Angeles is massive.
I wonder why that
is. An
is.
absolute shithole.
Just the state alone. Do you know how incredible that is? Do you know how much power Governor Newsom has?
He's trying so hard to glaze that man. He wants to be on his podcast. He tried to get on his podcast earlier. He keeps trying.
No, he's saying that Governor Newsom is a fucking failure. He's saying that he could have done something because he is the democratically elected leader of the 4th largest economy on the fucking planet. And he has done nothing. He has done nothing for no one. That's it. He could have stopped this. He could have stopped this from happening, I think. But he did, once again, what every Democrat does when they get into office. And I'm not going to say what I want to happen to him because I probably wouldn't get banned for it, but I should get banned for it
It is a sanctuary state. It's supposed to be a sanctuary state. Like,
He's a
Bro,
piece
trying
of
so hard to
shit.
become the king of Palestine with his one.
This
hate
and
it.
abortion protections and, like, you know, queer protections and stuff like that are only the last
my
good
God.
things that this goddamn state has to offer.
Because Trump is the guy that implemented Roe v. Wade and is giving every state the power to do what they want in that regard. But motherfucker, if California has a civil war with the rest of the country, they are getting smoked.
Wait, what?
That this goddamn
He's
state has
wrong
to
about
offer.
that. That
Because
was under
Trump is the
Biden.
guy that implemented Roe v. Wade and is giving every state the power to do what they want in that regard. But
Trump is the one that implemented Roe v. Wade. That's what he just said. That is what... Am I misunderstanding what he's saying? What the fuck is he saying?
That this goddamn state has to offer.
Does he think that, like, Trump came up with Roe v. Wade and then, like... And then, but he thinks that Roe v. Wade is like... Bro, Roe v. Wade was First of all, it was overturned originally. Roe v. Wade, it was a court case in 1972. It made it to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled. The details of the case don't really matter, okay? What matters is that the Supreme Court ruled that women have the right to an abortion in all states. In all states, they have the right to it. If they talk to their doctor, and them and their doctor come to the conclusion that she needs an abortion, then she can get one. Okay, that's how it works. The reasoning for this was quite interesting. Okay, it was one of the first examples and only examples of something that I believe legal scholars call privacy law. See, the thinking was it wasn't that a woman just like has a right to her body. Like, no, not that. That's fucking stupid. Of course not. No. The state does not have a right to know the status of your body. Okay? Privacy. the reason that Roe v. Wade was passed, the reason why that decision was made, I say passed, it wasn't like it was a court case, okay? It was a court case. The reason that they came to that conclusion is because the justices at that time understood that there was no way that the state could, like, know the status of your pregnancy without that being a huge violation of privacy. So that's why that happened, okay? But anyway, under Biden, Roe v. Wade was overturned. Fucking idiot, moron. Biden allowed that to happen. And now it's up for the states to decide. Now it's a states' rights thing. Okay, it's no longer a guaranteed right. The right to privacy. That's it. So, I think Nuxtaku is legitimately just a, like, dumb person. I think he just is dumb. He just, like, he doesn't know anything.
Because
That's
Trump
why he
is
said
the
that.
guy that implemented Roe v. Wade and is giving every state the power to do what they want in that regard. But motherfucker, if California has a civil war with the rest of the country, they are getting smoked.
Fucking moron.
They're getting smoked. All the fucking people that are yelling and screaming about global warming.
I'm gonna make that the title of the video, by the way.
Off by a couple years. That shit's gonna happen early. All right,
is
let's
a
be real
fucking
here, dog. You need a
moron piece of shit. This VTuber
against the United States to stop them from deporting illegal aliens.
That's the whole point of California. That's the
point of California.
Whole point of California is that, like,
that's the point.
It's a massive nation. It's a massive state that
Right.
has a massive economy that,
Right.
that contributes
Yeah,
so much
like
to
a
the rest of
nation.
the world,
Right.
but specifically to the rest of the United States of America.
Right.
It is supposed to protect migrants. No real Californian would
Illegal immigrants should be deported because they got there illegally. This is why Trump is president of the United States.
ever turn around and make a big fuss about undocumented migrants at all. This is
It's not the
Bro
only
is so mad that
reason.
there's borders. He's so angry that there's borders.
border state that has more undocumented migrants and documented migrants in it than Texas, and yet it's
Yeah.
never a talking point. It's never.
It's almost like the propaganda in LA is fucking atrocious, and you have people there that, dude, there are more genders in California than there are working fire hydrants. Why is this like an argument that he's trying to make?
Never been a talking point. Oh, we're full. California's full. We have too much.
It is shocking to hear how retarded he is. He's like, because people in California aren't screaming and crying, it means that it's totally okay to break the law. First of all, this is not true. Every business owner in California is terrified of these protests. I've spoken to business owners in California. People are moving the fuck out of California, by the way, because they hate that shit. So you're just wrong and a liar. I'll hit you with a fun fact. Get ready for a fun fact, gamers. Because guess how many homeless people are currently in California, right? Remember his argument is, oh, no one's saying, uh-oh, we're full.
Talking point. It's never been a talking point. Oh, we're full. California's full. We have too much.
Yeah, so there are 771,000 homeless people in California. What the fuck?
And
are
how
you
many
talking about?
vacant
Does he
houses?
anything
How
he
many
says, or is he
vacant
all just- is he just
residential-
fearmonger?
We have too many people.
Residential
That is not the
buildings
California way
are
at
there?
all.
It's not the
I
California way.
wonder.
But unfortunately for you, California is part of the United States of America. You know, the country that you live in, that you should leave because it's so bad.
People don't even entertain that notion here. Like, yes, the average Californian is unironically a Hitlerite when it comes to homelessness, and crime panic
What?
narratives are very, very popular here.
Do you see what he says? Like, the way he argues is like, Californians don't care about illegal immigrants. Oh, but they hate crime. Interesting. But they hate crime. Am I right, guys? They hate crime.
For sure. A lot of that is born out of...
Also, more than 6 million...
Yes. Yes. Californians are susceptible to the same crime, fear-mongering propaganda. Okay, but they are also susceptible to leftist propaganda, okay? Pro-immigrant propaganda. So, yeah, a lot of them are pro-immigrant while also, like, being scared of crime. And also, they don't like homeless people, okay? Californians fucking hate, they despise homeless people. They do. Because homeless people be doing crazy shit, okay? They be on drugs. They be on fent. Okay? They be taking fent. That's what happens. But, anyway. The homeless problem in California is not for a lack of housing. That's crazy. That's crazy. There are so many vacant houses and apartments. But they can't live there. Nope. Although they could. Look, when I say that they could, they already have. Okay, what do I mean by this? During COVID, they housed homeless people. They put them in fucking hotel rooms if they had to. Okay, for months. They were paying for this, the government. In California, in literally every state, especially especially California and Florida and New York, because they have the highest homeless populations. Okay, they housed them for months for nothing, for free. They use tax dollars to do it. Why? Because homeless people are always outside because they don't have a home. So they're spreading the virus. Okay, that's why they did it. Obviously. And it worked. My bad. I'm right above a it don't matter. It don't matter. God damn. It really, even with headphones on, I can hear it. It must sound like we're like right next to it. Anyway, that's how it works. The homeless problem is manufactured. Anybody with fucking eyes can see that.
Million people in California voted for Trump in 2024. Okay? So let's not make believe that
I need
no one
some
was
water.
there. Hitlerite is one of his new words. Everyone's a Hitlerite according to Hasan if you disagree with him.
The unaffordable housing and the housing crisis that exists within the state that Gavin Newsom refuses to deal with because he is...
Do you realize, okay, an absolute retard. Do you realize that bringing people into the country and into the state is not gonna fucking help? Like, I gotta realize, he's like, let's bring in a lot more illegal immigrants into the country. Also, the housing crisis is bad. Why do you think the housing crisis is bad? Why do you think it's bad? It's bad because there's too many people for the properties. Oh my lord.
firmly invested in the same corporate benefactors that pump the Republican Party at the national level, the real estate developers and the like. Having said that, however, when it comes to undocumented migrants, Californians do not have that same reactionary attitude that Texans do. This is a state that became the fourth largest economy on the planet as a standalone state.
Yeah, thank God for the Jews.
With migrant labor. To be real, it's always been a point of complaint for Orange County. California is not a complete monolith. Yes, the reactionary enclaves exist.
Oh, so the 6 million people that voted for Trump are just reactionary enclaves.
It doesn't change the overarching attitudes in California. It's like saying, oh,
out of his pocket. And Riley went over and held the bird. We have videos of it. Riley.
No, but who had the bird?
There was just a guy outside the Circle K. Got yelled at by the cashier.
Is he like a magician?
No, he was just some homeless guy wearing a shirt that was the Hennessy logo and it said anything is possible. And he had on pants that had one of the legs missing. And then the bird was like on his shoulder like a pirate and a parrot. Eventually, yeah.
Naturally, that's what you do with
Yeah.
that's what you do with a bird.
Bird.
But of course.
okay, well in Santee, people actually hate migrants. Yeah, I know. It's for a
Yeah.
reason. It's called Clanty for a reason. I know.
Dressed for war, clutching onto armored vehicles. Through the streets of Los
Let's
Angeles.
go.
It's images like these
I just
to
got a
strike
vape.
fear into migrant communities across America.
If you're there legally, you shouldn't be afraid.
I'm only
Where
gonna hit it a
Florida's
few
Immigration
times.
Department, known as ICE, has been instructed to ramp up their raids and are doing so with enthusiasm. On Tuesday,
Get them out. If they're illegal, get them out. That's the law.
2,200 people were arrested, a record high. Protests against the treatment of migrants took place outside detention centres, with one gathering turning violent.
They should all go to jail. If they're violent against the actual police, they should go to jail.
Elsewhere, demonstrators
No words, Hasan? No words for your people? Your people are beating up cops.
can do vape
No
tricks.
words for them?
criticised the arbitrary nature
Oh, I
of
think
the
it
arrest.
spit on me.
Community is under attack and is being terrorized.
Yeah, the World Cup is next year, by the way, is so crazy to me because now we also have implemented this this silly ass like Muslim ban 2.0. Not even just Muslim ban, but just like
There wasn't a Muslim ban. They banned a lot of countries that had antithetical perspectives to the United States that were directly dangerous to people in the U.S. Because, you know, there was recently this Egyptian illegal immigrant that lit a couple of Jews on fire in Colorado, like last week, and shit like that. So, you know, they decided, yeah, we got...
But where is Egypt? It was an Egyptian guy. I'm not following.
We gotta ban people from specific dangerous countries.
An Egyptian guy tried to set a crowd of Jewish people on fire, and that's why we need to ban Yemenis people, Somalian people from entering the country? What?
Based. by the way.
Every country in America dominates band. Who
Yeah.
we know from all around the
Yeah,
world. We got the
based.
Olympics, we got the World Cup. Like, none of this makes sense. U.S. tourism has taken a goddamn nosedive in the process. It's crazy.
And by the way, because people in my chat didn't believe me when I said this, the number of Californians voted for Donald Trump varies per the election year. In the 2020 election, 6 million people. In the 2024 election, higher than that. So, yeah, I was right.
These are workers. These are fathers. These are...
Yeah, I shouldn't have entered illegally.
I don't know why history has to repeat itself, by the way, this aggressively. It's like Germany had the...
America actually is not repeating anything. America is a new project that never happened before in the history of the world. So, actually, no. This is not repeating itself.
The Olympics in 38, I know. Why does...
How do you make this comparison? Yes, the Olympics happened in...
He's wrong about that. America was different. Okay, it was. It was a new thing. Kinda. Okay, liberal representative the idea of a liberal republic constitutional republic, a liberal constitutional republic was not it was a new idea. It was the liberal part was a new idea. Okay? But other countries went on to be liberal constitutional republics. And then they later became Nazi Germany. I'm talking about the Weimar Republic. I'm talking about the fucking Weimar Republic, man. And yeah, it did. Okay, America was the first, but they did it too. And then they devolved into a fascist dictatorship. Yeah, but history's not repeating itself. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry about it. No, that's not what's happening. They're just arresting crime doers. That's what they're doing. They're arresting crime doers. Even though it's not an arrest and they're not charging them with any crimes. They're just like black bagging them.
Berlin, 1936, and the Olympics also happened in America. Dude, it's literally Hitler time.
History have to repeat itself in this
It literally
incredibly
is.
blunt manner. It's so crazy. Or 36, not 38.
Does this guy, if he's a communist, you know how many, 100 million people were killed by communists. Like, what is going on? He's like, capital is bad because capitalists make people want companies and people in Germany.
The figure that he's talking about, the 100 million, the communism has killed 100 million people. By the way, that includes Nazis. That includes fucking Nazis. It includes them. Okay, any Nazi killed by Soviets, that is a death by communism. Also, any country where people starved, any person that starved, that also is part of the 100 million. Okay, so when people starve under communism, that's because of communism. When people starve under capitalism, they should have just pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, baby. They should have just bootstrapped.
Unlike communism, no one ever died because of communism. Yeah, that's a Moss Biker.
It doesn't make sense how people can't understand it. It's like bludgeoning.
Yeah, no one ever died
right
because
in
of
front them. Why did you
capitalism.
learn anything?
They're
It's
arresting
so
criminals
stupid.
incredibly based. That should happen.
Why did you learn anything in school if you're not going to apply it to your current living standards right now?
Everyone in school was too busy learning lesbian tap dance theory. What are you talking about?
Mothers.
Underwater
illegal.
basket
And it has
weaving.
to stop.
The record total comes after instruction from the White House demanding that ICE...
They're learning underwater basket
But the
weaving.
approach has been
If they're illegal, bye.
criticized for denying basic legal rights.
They just told us right now that they're suspending all attorney visits, so they're denying access to us attorneys who are here to represent.
Also illegal, by the way. Everything they're doing is illegal. The fact that they're able to do this and operate like this in the state of California is insane to me. You are the state of California. Use the National Guard against the ICE agents, if that's what it takes, to force the lawyers to go in to these facilities. Like, the ICE can't do this. They don't have this kind of power. What are we doing? And if it's might is right.
Because these people should definitely have rights in America, even though they're not here legally. Yes, of course they should.
If might is right politics is what's happening.
Yeah, they should. Unironically, why shouldn't they? Why shouldn't they have rights? Yo, he's like people that are illegal, they are evil savages and they should not have rights. That's what he's saying.
There is no such thing as an illegal immigrant.
Explain?
An
illegal person is
I
just
think-
somebody without the proper... They just don't have the paperwork. Okay, like
I think that's
I also...
stupid. I think that shouldn't exist.
Yeah, I agree. It's trivial. It's bureaucracy. It's trivial bureaucracy. And I agree with that. But, like, if you're going to say, like, that there's no such thing as an illegal, like, that's Like by definition, there are illegals.
I know there. I know that's. I mean, just like the concept shouldn't exist.
Yeah, I agree. Or
there's no such thing as a person living somewhere illegally.
I kind of disagree with you, because I think that it's fine for the government to have paperwork on people to document them, to know where they live and like what they're doing. I know, like, authoritarian state, evil. Okay, I think it's fine. I think it's fine that the government knows who people are and where they live. I just think that illegal immigrants, it would be very easy to make them not illegal. Just give them the paperwork. That's it. Just document them.
Yeah.
The solution isn't, like, I get what you're saying. I don't think the solution is to dissolve the concept of, like, having documentation on people in the country.
I just think anybody shouldn't be documented. There should be no paperwork on anyone unless it's, like, important shit. I don't think the government should just know everything about you.
Well, so, like, we can talk about Social Security. Like, the government kind of needs to know who is where and who is what in order to disperse, like, social safety nets, in order to provide social safety nets for people like Social Security. That's why Social Security is so tied to your identity. And it shouldn't be, but...
The government thinks I'm completely mentally inept. And that's why they give me money.
Yo, we're scamming out here. We're scamming.
Listen, I'm incapable of working, though.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah. This person is a racist person. Nuxtaku is a fucking racist Nazi. That's all I got.
His VTuber thing is like,
what do you think, guys? Do you think that's inciting violence?
Alternate universe.
And that's the end of the video. Closing statement, fight back with Mike. Anyway, I leave that to you. Currently, Hamas Diddy Bin Laden El Salvador Piker is sitting here doing a...
Diddy Bin Laden El Salvador Piker?
Protesting. He's doing some civil disobedience. Incredibly brave. I think he should go to Gaza next, personally. That's my vote. But anywho, lock in, boys and girl. He's wearing his little bandana to put over his face. Very awesome. Hell yeah. I love how it's so funny how the pro-Palestine people are also overlapping with the anti-ICE people. It's like, dog, stop. So anyway, thanks for being here. This is Hasan Piker, 560% fuck. He did an entire video misrepresenting the situation and making it look like we're living in...
Wow, I can't wait for the next one. Really great content. Nuxtaku, keep it up. Really great content, man. I'm loving it. Alright, I'll be right back.
Possibly can. Trying his best to mislabel as much as he can, to fearmonger and...
Has he uploaded again? Nope. Well. I'd like to see him react to the protest. I'd like to see that. I really would. He just cannot stop talking about Hasan. He really, really fucking can't.